I'm not sure why you are not hearing me, but on my screen, my mic is on.
Yes, it's now on.
Can
We
you hear
can
me
hear
now?
you now. Yes.
I think we've lost the professor again. I can't hear him.
Yes, I don't think we can hear him from this end.
Okay. Whilst we are trying to reconnect him, Jessica, can you say some of the challenges that you think will need to be addressed today? The professor is back. Can you try again, Professor?
I think Professor Welshman, if you can hear me, try to exit totally and close the Twitter application completely, and then try to restart the application, the Twitter application, and then you can find your way back to the space. I think that should be helpful, because I think he's just exiting and then having to come back. Um, uh, Host, can I go ahead with the contribution?
Yes, definitely. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think one of the issues that we really must speak on today are in regards to our civil standing as Zimbabweans, right? As a people, um, who, especially for everybody who's in the diaspora. One thing that I'm very very outspoken about is obviously the economy of Zimbabwe, because maybe I understand a bit more of the finance and economics part. And what seems to bother me a lot is Zimbabweans in the diaspora are only Zimbabweans when the government needs them to reinvest back at home. They're only Zimbabweans when they need, um, to be supported. They are only Zimbabweans when they are agreeing to what the government wants. They are only Zimbabweans when there is something that is supposedly or something that needs to, that they're used as a tool, right? But when Zimbabweans in the diaspora are outspoken about the real issues that people they are supporting back home are facing, then they become Western puppets. They become people that are driving an agenda. They become people that are working to overturn a sitting government. So that's one of the biggest issues I have with being a diasporan. It's not rocket science. You can't say Zimbabwe is supported by the diaspora remittances, which are a total of 1.02 billion, right, as of 2020. I'm not sure about 2021, but 2020 diasporans contributed about 1.02 billion, right? Where foreign direct investments, which is supposed to be from foreigners who are directly investing in Zimbabwe, was only 40.23 million. So we are only as good enough as when it fits the government of Zimbabwe. So I think that's one of the issues. And then maybe the second issue I would say is in regards to people that are in the neighboring countries, right? In our neighboring countries. So there are so many people that are crossing to go to South Africa, people that are crossing over to go to Mozambique, or that are crossing to go to Congo, Tanzania, Namibia, Zambia, Botswana, right? Many of those people, to be precisely and to be precise and to be honest, they are facing so many challenges within those countries where even their remunerations are not up to par with what they are supposed to be paid. A lot of Zimbabweans are underpaid, to be honest, especially in neighboring countries. South Africa has the biggest within the region, right? Lots of Zimbabweans in South Africa. And you'll find that to then raise that up, you cannot say it. right? Because you're a foreigner and chances that you have papers are minus 0.00%. So there is there is there should be somehow a way to address such issues, or whether it's by assisting people, and I hope that the professor will be able to answer, whether it's by assisting people in terms of attaining papers, in terms of having some form of dialogue with the South African, Namibian, Tanzanian government, whether it's through the SADC, even though, you know, SADC is really headed by the head of states, and it's just really like a league of gentlemen where people just go and have coffee and then they're done and go back to their countries. So there are so many issues in regards to what diasporans, especially within the neighboring countries, are facing. So I think those are some of the talking points I would really be happy to hear from the professor. Thank you so much, host.
Thank you, thank you. The professor was listening. I don't know, Professor, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you. At least I heard the last 2 or so minutes. Before that, I had been disconnected.
Okay, okay. You can go ahead with your presentation. Since you are here, then we'll have some questions and then you'll be able to answer if your network allows.
Very well. Let me just say that the responsibility for Zimbabwe in the in terms of facilitation of the challenges that are being met. We all know whether it's the of exemption needs Africa matter, the Zimbabwean there dealing with these things, the ability government the such the courts this government will be facilitated by the embassy working in station and with the Registrar General's office. You have the issues relating to students all over the world, some of whom have been affected adversely by the COVID pandemic in terms of losing some of the temporary jobs that they often take in between their studies. And again, this is a matter that should be responsibility of the government. Then, of course, the biggest question is the diaspora vote. It is the obligation of every government, of every state, to ensure that its citizens, wherever they are, can participate fully in the political process of the country. Unfortunately, on years those the diaspora, because it under that are there, economic refugees most likely not to vote for the government.
Prof, we've lost you again. We've lost the professor. Let me try to add him once more. Yes, go ahead, Prof, if you can hear us. I think the challenges, the network challenges, keep coming. Jesse, you had not yet finished. Can you go ahead and finish up? Then we can take some contributions from the floor. Then after that, the professor can always come back and answer or give him a brief background to what we have been spoken about. So go ahead, Jessica, before we start accepting the other questions.
Okay. Host, I had actually completed because my last point was really just in regards to diasporans that are living in the region. But let me also just take this time to say welcome to our other Vice President, VP Lynette Karenyi Koreshi is also with us. So we recognize you. Thank you so much for always supporting as we see the work that you're doing, and we greatly appreciate as a community, as diasporans, as Zimbabweans, and as a people, as one people. So thank you so much. I just wanted to acknowledge her presence. Over to you, host.
Okay, thank you so much. So what we'll do is we are going to take a number of people. Please keep your comments tight, something like 1 minute or so. We would prefer if every comment is a question, so that we can then try to get to that. Let's hear from Tawanda. Tawanda, can you unmute and go ahead and make your contribution?
Hello. Yeah, I just wanted to ask the professor what the MDC is doing for us in South Africa, given the situation that we're facing. And we are having ZANU-PF purporting to represent us. And now it appears as if it's a government project or a ZANU-PF project to protect its own interests, whereas our real interests are being affected by the cancellation of the permits.
Okay, the professor is listening. He is not yet able to come up as a speaker, but he's listening. He heard your question. Then let's add Rich. Rich, can you go ahead once you are connected? Rich, you can go ahead, unmute and go ahead.
My, question or comment, Zimbabwe has been experiencing a socio-political economic crisis since 2000. And we have seen, the Zimbabwean diasporan community upping its game in terms of participating in the governance and politics of our country. The reason being that it's now 20 years Zimbabwe experiencing a crisis of governance. Now we have also seen the Zimbabwean diaspora community taking
it looks like we have lost Rich as well. Brighton, can you unmute and try to speak?
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I have a small contribution. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for that confirmation. My problem with my people, which is the people in diaspora being Zimbabweans, is I know a lot of people who are earning quite a good amount of salaries, but very few of those people, they are not investing in back home. And what happens when they lose their jobs along the line, they tend to be purpose. So it is very unfortunate. I'm just here to contribute to say, please, if you can get a chance to plow back home, do something, even if it is small, go for it. Don't pin too much hopes on politicians to change the fortunes of your life. That may take centuries, and it will not even help you at all or your kids. So do something for yourself.
We seem to have lost Brighton again.
Mm,
Network challenges.
yeah, I don't know how and why we keep losing our speakers, but we can still hear ourselves here, and there's no problem. Let's try. Is it Kennedy? Advocate Masie, can you go ahead?
Thank you very much, host. My questions are basically just it's a contribution and a question. Of late, we've seen ZANU-PF going around via its embassy, on drives that are saying encouraging diasporans to invest back home, but we know what that is. So my question is, when is the leadership in Harare going to also come and meet the diaspora? Is it going to be this year, early this year, or next year? That's my question.
Okay. Thank you. When the VP is up, VP, if you can kindly exit the space and come back, I think you might be able to speak this time. We are going to take a few more questions so you can listen in. Then after the speakers are done, you can then leave and come back and try to answer them. From there, we'll go to George. George, can you go ahead?
Okay, how are you, host and co-host? My question to the prof, I was asking, there is no another legal way to approach so that diaspora people can vote. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's a nice question. Is there another legal way which can be used so that the diaspora people can vote? Thank you for that. Let's go to Muda. Muda, you are already unmuted. Can you kindly go ahead?
Thank you very much. I want to ask Prof. Sometimes we got this problem. You go to US diasporans, we want to invest back home. But the problem is, if you put your US dollars in Zimbabwe, Mangwana Mangunja or Minister of Finance, mutually, there's no confidence that you get any return on your investment. And I'll speak from personal experience. Previously, I used to buy shares on counters in Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. I still have useless share certificates like Hana Time Bank, Kingdom Bank. There is no way that I can be confident of ever wanting to invest in Zimbabwe again unless I'm returning to Zimbabwe, because investor confidence is very, very low. Then the other issue is about what's circulating on social media, particularly in it's MDC and what Douglas Monzora and ED are doing to make sure that you won't be able to contest as MDC in whatever name or shape in the forthcoming election. What is the party doing to make sure that that is dealt with? It's also to not all vote, like everybody else. We are citizens. We should have. They just can't want our investments and our remittances and not give us the vote, because there has to be a trade-off. Citizenship is about trade-off. What is it part of the social contract that we as diasporans, who they always want to encourage us to invest in Zimbabwe? What do we get? We don't even have a vote. What is the MDC doing to advocate for the diaspora vote, for example? I know it has already been raised. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Muda. We hope you'll be you will have your answer. But if we could concentrate our questions on stuff to do with challenges we are facing in the diaspora, that's the main topic of the day. Other topics are equally important, but we can still bring those for you in our upcoming Twitter spaces, so you can be answered on different days. So for today, let's try to concentrate on the challenges. We'll go to Avant Garde. You can go Avant.
Thank you so much, comrades, for giving me the platform to speak and to also hear people whom I used to read about in the newspapers now on the platform and listening to us speaking. I just want to go back to Jessica's thoughts. I like the process. I mean, like the issues that she raised there and what the professor actually tied up together in his last statement before he went down. I think we are all converging around one principle, the first and foremost important one, which is the Zimbabwe being Zimbabwean, or the Zimbabwe in the diaspora, especially to do with the diaspora voice in terms of voting. I think that's the most important thing that we all want to hear and want to be able to be satisfied or to be answered, that we could be able to raise our voices in terms of choosing the leaders that we want. Why? Because according to what Jessica here says, we are torn apart between two things. We are either there to fundraise certain programs taking place back home, and only when we are needed, only when powers that be need us, that's when our voice counts, in terms of our money. But when it comes to decision making, we are excluded. And the challenge is that we can neither vote in the countries where we live, because we have the hope that we are one day going to vote in the countries in the country where we belong. And the other challenge is that time is flying. The more you don't practice not voting in your own country, the more you want to say, okay, I would like to influence the areas, the place that I live. So that's why I want to probably change my citizenship. In conclusion, I also want to put an analogy which I also had in 2011. I was studying South Africa, and in December, I came back with a bus, and we stopped in Louis Trichardt, then we stopped in Mosina, then we took the bus to Bedbridge. But let me just give you what happened in that bus. In that bus, there was a guy, Samanyika guy, who was coming from there, but he was like a border jumper. He had been in South Africa for like 10 years, I don't know. So all the way when we're having police controls from in South Africa side, they were taking money out of him, mistreating him. And his last lap was at the border. The South African police, if you walk on the bridge, they took money out of him, mistreated him. And I was walking. As I was taking my bag, the Zimbabwean soldiers on the left were inspecting partners, passports. They saw him, mistreated him, took money out of him, then he left. I was questioned, what is the value and worth of a Zimbabwean? Because all this 300, 400, 500 kilometers all the way was being mistreated. And he comes back to his country, probably was putting remittances all along, mistreated as just something else. So going back and stopping here is that the value and worth of the Zimbabwean in terms must be, how do we gauge it if he does not contribute remittances to the fiscus?
Okay, thank you so much. Let's try to keep our contributions tight, at least 1 minute maximum. Let's go to Kumbulani.
Good evening. My question to the professor is with regards to the diaspora, members of the opposition, when it comes to wanting to participate as candidates in elections back home. be it members of parliament or council or whatever position, that might have come up. What is the approach, or should I say the rule, with regards to the MTC alliance? Because I've noted that the mentality of the opposition members at home in Zimbabwe is a bit negative when a candidate is coming from from the diaspora and wanting to participate as a candidate at home. I hope my question is clear. Thank you.
It's very clear. Thank you for the question. From there, let's go to the Duke of Chine Mukutu.
Thank you so much, everybody, for giving me a chance to speak here. I want to greet everybody who is here present. As a truck driver, I think the challenges that we are facing here in the diaspora as truck drivers, foreign truck drivers, mostly Zimbabweans, is now reached a higher level, in the sense that whilst we are still waiting for the period that we were given to apply for other permits that we might qualify for, which we don't even have any other permit that we can qualify for if you look into it. Because there's no way I can wake up tomorrow as an aviation engineer or as a as an air traffic controller. I am a truck driver. I came here years back. I've been contributing to the tax of South Africa. And sorry for the background noises. I think I'm on the road, I'm driving, so I'm just trying to pull off here so that you can hear me properly. And my contribution is, with these threats that we are getting, maybe with some other guys who are here on this platform, you might not even feel it because it hasn't reached to you. But on truck drivers, this situation is now worse. How is it if we can advocate for a tools down Zimbabwe, like before 31 December? As in, if we can start maybe next month or a month or in 2 months' time to say tools down Zimbabwe, everybody, every Zimbabwean to say let's tools down, can we ask the South African government to help us have our benefits that we worked for the past years, and encourage companies to pay every employee, even if they are going to continue working as contract employees? That would be even much better, because you might find out that some will be beaten, some will be killed, some will even live without their benefits after they have worked for so long. So for us to keep on persisting, like thinking that maybe things can change, why can't we have just a particular date that we can say, all of us as Zimbabweans, let's put our tools down. Let's kindly ask the South African government and our employers to start calculating our funds so that we can have our monies in time. We can have time to go and like get our money from SARS. We can have our contributions, if it is momentum, if it is whatever that we were contributing, like our provident funds and everything, we can get it in time before even things get worse, or even before the banks closes our accounts. Because if we are going to wait up until the last date, we are really going to suffer. That is my contribution, and that is the challenges that we are facing in South Africa as truck drivers. Thank you so much for the contribution that you are going to give.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's go to Unati.
Thank you very much, leadership. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Greetings to everyone in all protocol observed. And thank you, host, and thank you very much to Honorable Vice President. Yeah, leadership, let's be honest and be true to each other here. I am the South Africa Province Election Secretary. We will have to go to vote, guys. We might try and intellectualize everything, talk about fiscals, talk about SARS, talk about permits. South African permits are illegal to start with. By now, people, who applied for those permits about 10 years ago should be citizens of South Africa, and you won't get that. What we will need to do is to go home and vote. We will try and get diaspora vote from here to Libya, from Cape to Cairo. We will never get that. I want to be honest with you, leadership. ZANU will pull its strings left, right, and center. They own SADC, those people. They own African Union. They own AU. We will do nothing. United Nations will never do anything about us. The Parliament of Britain is always talking about us. Parliament of America talking about us. Nothing will come out. Guys, let's go home and vote. Make sure everybody goes home to vote. That's it. There's nothing we will do in diaspora. And sooner or later, another xenophobic wave is coming and people are going to die. And I want to be honest with you, I wish those permits are never renewed so that we go home, all of us. It's time for us to die. Let us die. That is our land. Thank you very much, leadership.
Thank you for your contribution. For now, I know the professor has been listening. Prof, if you can go ahead and leave the space and then come back, then you try to answer the speakers. That would be good. If you can completely go off Twitter, then come back and join the space again. We would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Whilst the prof is doing that, let's go to our leadership who is here. Leader Barbara, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much, Leader Rico. You want me to speak when Prof is not there?
Yeah, at least we can summarize your leadership. You can go ahead and next time, you know.
Okay, thank you so much, Rico. I would like to recognize the presence of our leadership, VP Welshman, our main guest, VP Kore. I'm seeing a lot of national members here present. And everyone else who's listening, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Firstly, I would like to thank Unati by his remarks. This is the time. We need to be aggressive. We need to be radical. We are in a struggle. And what I want to say, leadership is, like I want to buy his idea of the diaspora vote. Whilst we are fighting for the diaspora vote, why not also fight for things that are universal? For example, registering online, it affects everyone, even those that are home, so that we have a lot of people that register online and then they can go back home and vote, because it's very difficult for someone to go home and register and then go back again and vote. You know, people are they are in financial doldrums. Even if they're in the diaspora, they are looking after a lot of people back home. So traveling expenses, you know, it's very expensive. So I want to know what the party is doing in maybe putting ZEC to task for this registration, online registration. If I can check my name online, why can't I register online as well? I registered here in the UK. It didn't even take me 3 minutes to be a registered voter here in the UK. So why not fight for such things first, and then at the same time also fight about the diaspora vote? 1, 2, we are talking of the challenges that the diasporans are facing, but I would want to turn this challenge, because it's not only the diaspora that have got challenges, it's also the party that has got challenges in accessing the people in the diaspora that would have been helped by the party to attain papers or to attain refugee status. We have a lot of people who come here and claim asylum using the party name. They get papers, they get letters from the party, they buy cards when things are okay. But when they've got papers now, they run away. You don't see them. They disappear. And yet our role as people in the diaspora is to oil the struggle through financial resources. So if people run away, who is gonna finance this struggle? If you look at it, the same people are burdened. The same people have to fundraise for the elections. They have to fundraise for by-elections. They have to fundraise for equipment. They have to fundraise for rallies. They fund the same people, and yet there are a lot of people who benefited from the party. They are sitting pretty right now. What are we doing as a party, or what should we do as a party? Should we have an agreement to say if we are going to use the party, or if you are going to, we are going to witness for you as a party, in return you're supposed to do this A, B, C, D. I don't know exactly what we should do, but I think it's a very big problem. And yet the party needs resourcing, the party needs funds. We don't have money. Everyone knows MDC doesn't have money. And we all know why we don't have that money. So we in the diaspora, we're supposed to finance the party. But we cannot finance the party with a quarter of the people, when 3/4 benefited from the party and they are sitting pretty. And yes, the other problem, Rico, when they are being deported, then people start saying, MDC, what are you doing to your people? And yet they're not even in our records. And we can't say that to the people, they are not our members. You can't say that, because they know they're here because of political asylum. Now you can't say you now have to bear the burden of admitting that they are our members, when in actual fact they will not be our members. So this is a problem.
Yes. Thank you, Leader Barbara, for pointing out those challenges. We'll give the professor a chance to respond to what he has heard. But just in brief, there was an issue about diaspora participation as candidates, the issue with the truck drivers in the SA, and whether they should do tools down, and since they need their benefits. There's also been an encouragement that all those in the diaspora, especially in South Africa, should actually go back home and vote. So, can you respond to these and the other issues that you had?
Thank you very much. A lot has been said, a lot of questions asked, but I think what is important is that most of what has been said has really been contributions, comments, suggestions, excellent suggestions at that. I'm really happy that we are engaged on the issues of the day. But let me try and comment very quickly on some of the issues that need comment. Most of the issues I have listened. I will obviously take back to the leadership some of the issues which have been raised. I noticed that VP Gore is here, and I'm sure she'll help me with some of the conversations which we'll have to have within the leadership. But let me start with the simple, straightforward things. The issue of those in the diaspora who might want to come back home and be candidates. We have sought to streamline the processes for what we are calling candidate selection. What we have now done is basically to say it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you are. What matters is that the community that you want to must identify you, must basically say they want you to be their representative. And that is what is important. We are going to have an independent commission which will consult and hopefully establish consensus within the various communities where candidates are being sought. So it shouldn't matter where you are located, as long as the community thinks that so and so, wherever they are, will best represent us in local government or in parliament. And you will then be able to stand. That is the current position that the party has taken. You must have the unequivocal support. We don't even want people applying to be candidates. You must be nominated by the community. You should not be giving us your CV. The community must say, we want so and so. You must be embedded in your community. The community must believe that you'll be an effective representative either in council or in parliament.
We've lost the professor there.
Yes, indeed. I think we have lost him, but I think we have heard some of the responses to our questions. So what we'll do is we have more requests that have come. We hope the professor can hear us whilst he is reconnecting. We will give you a minute maximum each. If you go over a minute, I will remove you as speaker. You will just find yourself growing quiet. So try to make your contribution tight. Once it's over a minute, I will remove you as speaker and take the next one. Right. So we start with Beauty. 1 minute.
Good evening, leadership. My challenge that I have as a diasporan is that we've got two roles to play within the party when you're in diaspora. It's either you're fundraising or advocating for some things. But my challenge is that in terms of fundraising, can't the party come up with a database of all people who've ever been members of the MDC who are in the diaspora, of people who support MDC in the diaspora? Can they come up with like a database where you just basically call those people, contact those people, email those people, and ask them to help out with certain causes that will be going on within the party? That's just my my challenge. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Beauty. So the issue of database. From there, let's go to Tawanda. You have 1 minute.
Sorry, myself, I'm an independent, and I assume that this platform is talking about the challenges that are facing us as Zimbabweans in general. So upon hearing the comment that we must just go and vote, and the concerns that we have here, like us, the ZEP holders, okay, just a disclaimer, I've voted MDC every time I've voted, but basically I'm an independent. But now I'm disturbed by the leader that said that just go and vote, don't discuss the issues that you're facing, like that driver that said that we are having issues with driving itself in South Africa. Like, can't we have lawyers in South from the MDC that can help? Like, because you can just hold our hands and say, let's vote. This is not voting time. And you support families in Zimbabwe, and then you can't just go back into Zimbabwe and sit with them with nothing to feed them. There's time for everything. You can go and vote, but now, what do you do now?
Okay, thank you for that question. This is a free platform. Like you said, you are an independent, and every Zimbabwean in the diaspora matters to the party, and it matters to the country. There is no like a ZANU-PF diaspora and an MDC diaspora, but there is a Zimbabwean diaspora where we all want something good for our country. So definitely, Mr. Tawanda, if you're an independent, you are allowed to speak as long as there are challenges you are facing. Then the professor can respond to that. Thank you so much. From there, we'll go to ACBD or question mark?
Where I am, but I would like to say my question to the leadership of the MDC is what value beyond the voting do they see, the voting and the fundraising do they see in the diaspora population? And how do they intend to capture that value? It seems their efforts sometimes are sporadic. Secondly, with ZANU-PF being steadfast and unflinching in terms of not wanting to enfranchise the diaspora, to let the diaspora participate beyond the remittances, what does the MDC think would be the best way of incorporating each and every diasporan who wants to see change in Zimbabwe? And finally, I would like to say the question of the database that was mentioned by someone else. Isn't there a possibility of the MDC coming up with a database that captures everyone and their possible contributions they can make? I know there was a website which had that, but I didn't see any follow-up to that, because you could have people contributing from a promotional perspective, from fundraising and other activities that are required. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's all remember that you have 1 minute. We don't want a situation where we are going to cut you in the middle of your sentence. From there, we are going to Suleiman, 1 minute.
Thank you, leadership. I thank you so much for the time that you've given me. My questions are a bit short. I'll try to be as short as I can. My first one is to direct it a bit to what Leader Barbara said. I think Leader Barbara was more aligned or singularly viewing the aspect of those that they have held and then now they are no longer coming back. But I wanted here, if possible, to broaden up to approach everyone. That is, some of us, we have not used the MDC as per se, but we want to contribute. But I think the only way that is very critical is the involvement of Zimbabwean leadership to the diaspora, because somehow we feel like we are no longer part of those that are in Zimbabwe. Or even though we contribute through monetary and everything else, but in some instances you realize that those that are in Zimbabwe are possibly regarded as much better MDC members than those that are outside in a way, because you'll find some people that are, what will I say, younger generation, good as it might be, now they become popular, and now you know the way that they treat others because they are not as popular as they are. I think that's one. The other thing that is critical to me is I think the participation of diaspora leadership. I mean, those that are outside, whoever is being given the leadership role, they are not doing much in terms of bring people together. If I am in diaspora, I want to support MDC, I would say, and the leadership that are within the diaspora are not even recognizing, talking to me. We try to approach them, they don't. How will you expect me in the bigger way to assist the party? I think so. There is a bit of some misalignment between the leaderships and whatever that might go. So I think there is more need to. I will support the database issue that has been raised, just to build from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. From there, let's go to Tapiwa.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm also another fence sitter. I'm still looking for a political home. I'm in the diaspora. I live in Southeast England. My question to the professor is the partisan position of all our leaders, whether there's ZANU-PF or MDC, it's not doing us favors. How can he and his compatriots work with, for example, a high commission to actually take care of the welfare of the diasporan population, not only their welfare in terms of need, but also in grabbing opportunities as well, back home or here in England? Because I understudied the Indian community, the Indian diaspora, and I was so jealous because I lived in Hayes, Harlington, in Southall, where they are basically have Indian banks in the middle of London, whereby there's sort of organic sort of interface between the Indian economy and the British economy, diaspora. So what are they doing to actually facilitate that fluidity between our home country and the diasporan constituency. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tapua, for your comment. Let's go straight to Kuda. Kuda, can you go ahead?
Oh, thank you so much. Just wanted to ask, man, there was a guy that was speaking from South Africa concerning the issues of permits. Well, were some of the people that are affected. But Prof is a lawyer and the leadership that we have here. There's an issue of retaining race, like if you want to bring things from here, and our permits, they were extended somehow, or it's not extension with a year. And I believe with the returning raise, if the permit expires, it just has to be like 3 months. I don't know if we can have people that we can speak for the people that are in diaspora, so that if these permits, maybe these people that didn't renew and all that, we can get help and we can manage to get our things that we have in different countries. And then the other thing, it goes to the MDC. I support MDC Alliance. I voted for it as well. The approach that we have to ZANU-PF, do you think it is the right approach? Considering these people, I don't think, the regime that was there, it was even better. These ones, I don't think they'll even accept anything to do with any democracy. This is why you find that right now there's so many arrests, there's so many abductions and all that. Do you really think the approach that we are trying to face these guys is gonna work? Because right now we've got the Monzora people and all that, and if you look at it, those guys are actually getting support from these guys, and they are just using them. And I don't know if the alliance generally is going to be in this election, let's say on the by-elections and the next election, they'll try by all means to do certain things. So my question is, does MDC Alliance have the right approach to face these guys? Because really you're facing something else. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kuda. Let's go to Peter. Peter Mpondi, can you go ahead? Okay, if Peter can't speak, I would kindly ask our VP
Am I audible?
to leave. Okay, go ahead, Peter.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know where to start. But anyway, let me just go to what I wanted to say straight, because you said you are giving me 1 minute.
Yes.
You guys, I'm very talkative. If you give me 1 minute, it will end up in 10 minutes. Okay. Let me just say, I don't need to ask any question, but I'm just, I just want to say some challenges I face here. I'm in UAE, I'm in Dubai, and whenever I meet people trying to recruit them into our little branch here in UAE, it looks like people are frustrated. You tell them about the Zimbabwean situation to say we can change this situation in Zimbabwe if only we can fight from here. The response you get from people is so disgusting. Some will tell you that as long as my family is getting something to eat, I don't care. And I've understood it from a certain point of view to say, okay, these guys are frustrated. They don't want to hear anything about Zimbabwe. And some of them are even not ready to go to Zimbabwe, even if we have a war here in UAE. They don't want to go back to Zimbabwe. I have understood it, but sometimes it frustrates me. You want to talk to people to say, you guys, we can deal with our Zimbabwean situation so that we can go back and stay there in Zimbabwe and be workers there and contribute to the economy of Zimbabwe once we change the things in Zimbabwe. But it looks like people are frustrated. Then I also want to talk about the issue of voting. In 2018, I I took an unpaid leave, 2 months. I came to
You
Zimbabwe.
are left with seconds.
My God, you guys can just give me 50 more seconds. 50 more seconds, I'll finish. Okay.
Okay.
I came to vote. Okay. I had to come to vote because I had realized that ZANU-PF was not going to give us this opportunity to vote from UAE. I had to come to vote in Zimbabwe. I was voting in my constituents where I'm registered in Victoria Falls, Ward 1. I went there, I voted. You know what? I defended my vote. I left the voting station 12 p.m. After the counting or the counting of the votes. So I wanted to encourage one person who is here and one person who might not be here to say, okay, if it fails, if we fight the war of voting from diaspora and we fail it, let us sacrifice and go back home. We cast our vote. That single vote is very important. And I went home in 2018 to say, I want this vote to make something. Out of the 2.6 million votes, my vote is there. I voted for my president. And that sacrifice, I am so proud of it. I want to say, you guys, if we fail this war of voting from diaspora, let us go back and vote. Let us sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. You indeed talked for a long time, but we encourage others not to do the same because I was almost dropping you right there. Fortunately, you finished. Let's go to these 4 speakers. Then afterwards, the prof will respond. Then after that, we'll see. I'll hand over to the other host to continue with the other program. And MDC Carolinas, you will be able to talk. I see your hand is up, but you will be able to talk when the professor is trying to reconnect. Since you are part of our leadership as MDC Alliance, like what happened to Leader Barbara. So we'll give the others, the fence sitters and the others an opportunity to speak. Then you come after them. So I will take in the last requests. After that, we'll just have a response. Then we move on to the next stage of our program. Right. So from there, let's start with George. George, you are unmuted, so just speak. Then we move ahead. George.
MDC Alliance, and I want to speak from the experience that I have had with during our engagement with Zimbabweans in South Africa. You find that most of Zimbabweans in South Africa, they do not have papers, they do not have permits. Some of them, they don't have passports. So telling them to go back home to register and vote and come back, it's far-fetched. Let's be realistic, it's not going to happen because most of them do not have documents. So that alone is a very huge challenge that we have. And then the other issue that we have was mentioned by Suleiman when he said the resentment by cadres at home who expect us, the diasporan, to fundraise as a funded and to send resources back home. But and we are not treated as equal, regardless of the fact that we are expected to fundraise for the park. which is something we need the leadership to address. And then in terms of the issue of work permit, the Zimbabwean exemption permit, I want to ask the professor, are there no bilateral relations in place between Zimbabwe and South Africa? And what is MDC Alliance as a party doing to address the matter? Because we haven't heard anything from our party besides the statement that are issued in the mainstream media. Is there any engagement?
We seem to have lost George. Since we have lost George, I think his question was already clear. Can we go to Judah? Judah, can you go ahead?
Thank you very much, and I'm happy that we're talking to part of the leadership of the MDC here. I am also in the diaspora in South Africa, but I've got two concerns that I'm going to raise. It's not questions as such, but I just want to hear what the leadership says about those things. So the first one is it concerns the ZEC. We know that the ZEC is very dodgy, and whatever had happened the previous elections, I want to know if there is anything that has been put in place for us as the MDC Alliance. What do we have in place to ensure that we don't end up also going to the courts that we know are not going to help us at the end after the election? So I just want to know what is there, what confidence do we have about that? And then my second concern is about the leadership in the diaspora. I don't know if I'm the one that's not visible, but it looks to me like they're not visible enough. How do we have our leadership in the diaspora being visible so that we can motivate ourselves and group ourselves together to achieve whatever objectives we have to achieve here in the diaspora, especially for the benefit of Zimbabwe as the biggest political party in that country. So that's all from me.
Thank you, Judah. From Judah, we go to James.
Thank you very much for giving me a chance. Hey, I've been long waiting. I hope everyone is fine. I'm here in South Africa. I have got my question and I just want to cut it very short. I want to ask if, from the leaders, if I want to join the party from diaspora, is there any way I can do it, or I have to go back home and and join the party, or is there any other way I can do it right here in South Africa? I think.
I think, James, you have muted yourself. Okay, so James can't speak. Let's go to Chris.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. My question is, like as previous speakers have been saying, MDC to me is one of the largest parties in Zimbabwe, outside Zimbabwe, in the diaspora. But you find like I'm also in the diaspora in England. I and my family and my friends do not know the leadership of MDC UK. And we have got a lot of MD supporters, let's say around the country and around the world. Why can't we open a platform or a website where even I can subscribe £1 a month? Imagine 5 million MD supporters around the world. That's a month of £1. That will go a long way to help the party. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Can we go to Tarisai? Tarisai, can you unmute yourself and speak?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you for this platform. Thank you to the Revolutionary Party, the Party of Excellence. I know we are going to do this. We are faced with ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is an evil organization that is led by satanic people that want to destroy Zimbabwe. But as Zimbabweans, we must fight these people, guys. Let's do whatever it takes to liberate our country from this oppressive regime. Zimbabwe is our country. We can run away, but home, we can run away from our home. We need to fix our home. Whatever is happening in Zimbabwe, we need to come together and fix it. Zimbabwe belongs to Zimbabweans. We shouldn't be afraid to speak our minds. Right now, things are not on in Zimbabwe. The current government is not legitimate. We voted for President Chamisa. He's the legitimate president of Zimbabwe. Anyone who is causing all this chaos that we are seeing, the likes of Monzor and the likes, they are committing treason because they are going against the will of the people of Zimbabwe. We must do something to liberate our country, guys. Thank you for the opportunity. Let's work on how we can remove this cancer called ZANU-PF from power. We have to do it by all means necessary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Remember, all our comments should be 1 minute or less so that the professor can hear what we have to say. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take more requests. So we'll just clear the requests that are there and then give the professor a chance. Priscilla, can you go ahead?
Thank you. Mine is actually a question to the professor. I think my issue is very much clear that we will not get the diaspora vote that we're seeking in this coming election. But my question to the professor is, how can we help you as the MDCA to make sure things go according to plan in this coming election, especially these by-elections?
Thank you so much, Priscilla. Can we go to retired?
Thank you very much, my brother, for the opportunity to speak directly to the professor, who happens to be the vice president of MDC Alliance. I'm based in South Africa, and I've always had this question, which I believe many other cadres out there have the same question about how do we join and participate, within the struggle, within the party as diasporians. And I've always wondered, why can't the leadership of the MDCA send out, part of its leadership to the various countries so that they organize the branches? Because right now, as it is, the MDC Alliance is leaving us out here in the cold, asking us to organize ourselves. Yet there is leadership there which can come. Like, I'm based in Cape Town. Maybe, I don't know, Secretary Wende can come to Cape Town, organize the branch, organize a branch in Joburg, organize a branch in Eastern Cape. That's my question to the leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, retired. Let's go to Pith and Fulcrum, and then I'll give time to our co-host to respond to one of the questions. She had a hand up. I think we'll do that. Pith and Fulcrum, go ahead.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes, thank you so much, my leader, for that. Greetings to the Vice President. My question is not a question per se. I've heard quite a number of brothers asking if there are structures around, especially those that are in South Africa. I'll respond maybe and say there are some structures, but I want to ask the leadership to say, could you please consider that we have a legitimate bank account in South Africa so that at least we can be able to support our movement financially? Because I understand that the movement needs finances, and some of us, like one speaker mentioned, that due to papers constraint or documentation, we are not going to be able to travel and come back. However, we may be in a position to assist and contribute so that the struggle goes on. So I'm asking.
Pith and Fulcrum, we can't hear you. since we can't hear and we have no time, let's go to Shamase.
Good evening, family. How are you? Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Good evening also to the Prof. Prof, my question, I will direct it to you as well. I'm in a diaspora in South Africa as well. So we don't see any structures of the movement here. As the previous speaker said, financially wise, we want also to contribute.
MDC, and you find there is that gap. There's no, it's like water and oil. What is the leadership is doing to, in terms of try to engage with the community in the diaspora? Thank you. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much, Marvel. I think the professor has gone off so that he can come back. Meanwhile, I want to recognize our leadership who are here. I can see our VP is here, Mike Kore. I can see our SG is right here. I can see the youth commander, Tererai Stole, is here. I can see our veteran journalist, Mkoma Opo Chingono is here. I can see Dr. Magaisa is here. I can see a lot more leadership who are among us. I saw Comrade Bondo. I saw Leader Netai. I saw a lot of other leadership who are here. The list is long and there are many people. If I didn't see you, I apologize for that. But otherwise, you are all welcome. I also see Dr. Nkululeko and others. Thank you for coming to support the program. I will give this time to my co-host, Mkoma Washington, to take us in the next phase of the program, whilst we are waiting for the professor to come back and answer some of the concerns. I can see we have a number of requests. Time permitting, we'll take more hands. Mkoma Washington, I hand over the mic to you.
Thank you, host. I just want to also recognize our leadership here, our friends, and my brother Hopewell. I want to say greetings to everyone. I think our program today, just basically trying to bring all the talking points that other people were putting in. The reason for bringing you onto the program is to try and address the issues that are affecting us. The issues that are affecting us are the issues that are bringing us together, or that are the issues that are bringing us together. So those who are having issues with wanting to know where to join their branches, where to link with the MDC in respective areas, you are in the right space. All you need to do is to link up with us. Tell us where you are. We will signpost you to where you want to go. And say you're in South Africa, Johannesburg, Cape Town, or regardless of where you are, just let us know, and we will signpost you there. If you're in New Zealand, let us know where you are in New Zealand, and we'll also signpost you to New Zealand. If you're in Australia, we'll do the same. We are going to be doing a lot of these engagements, these Twitter spaces, in the run-up to the by-elections, in the run-up to the elections that are coming. So if we've got people that are here that would like to become members, you are in the right place. If we've got people who are here who would like to support the work that the MDC is doing, you are actually in the right place as well. Regardless of what you think you want to offer, I think last space we had people offering all sorts of things towards the elections. The by-elections had not been opened to the publics, but we as diaspora team, I am heading the resource mobilization of the diaspora. So if anybody's got any resources that they think will help us, please get in touch with us. We're going to be looking for so many things, including mobile phones that are going to help our election monitors. So I think that information is going to be coming as we are going. If you're in the UK, you've got mobile phones that you want to donate to the MDC. We are in close conversations because we work with our provinces. We are going to be giving you information on the dropping points within the areas within the UK, within areas within the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. We are looking for so many resources. As you know, the MDC is on its own in terms of resourcing. The government of Zimbabwe, or the regime of Zimbabwe, has decided that they will go and give their ZANU-PF surrogates the money which was supposed to come to us to resource ourselves. But we are a people-driven project, and because we are a people-driven project, we are not stopping because of what is happening home. This project is between you and me. So we have to resource our party. So I heard somebody talking about, oh, if I want to donate to the MDC, what do I do? You can actually come to us and have a conversation with us. We will then signpost you to where you can go and do your donation. If it's resources that we are looking for, you are the person that we are looking for. If you run a business, own a business, and you want to help, we want to hear from you. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people who are also doing their part, fundraising for this, fundraising for that, fundraising for that. The change that we need or require in Zimbabwe is going to need all of us to fasten our belts and fight. The fight that we have with the regime at home is the regime against Zimbabwe, which is you and me. So I know there's a lot of upsets left, right, and center, but believe you me, let's make our complaints while we're doing our part as well. We need to work, and we've got so much work. But together, united, we will actually make the work easier. There are so many programs we are running. I'm also going to give this to Jessica to also share on some of the programs that we are running. There was issues of database that was mentioned. Um, there is a vast lots of things that we are doing that once we finish, you are actually going to be excited that you have been part of it. Jessica.
Hi, Washington. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So without giving so much, and without taking so much from what you've said, maybe let me just reiterate that he does speak the truth that there are so many things that obviously as Diaspora Network for Change we're trying to work on and to try and provide the necessary things that the diaspora community needs. So most of the things that you have raised in terms of wanting to know or where you go when you need what link do you get when you want what. Obviously, we speak a lot more on volunteering. Your skills, and it's not just a financial cause, but even in terms of skills within the party, we always say, you can contact the SG if you feel that you need to work in terms of helping out the diaspora. um, there will be um, there will be ways to go around a lot of the things that you're speaking, the issues that you're speaking about. So let me not give it away, but let me just confirm that what Washington is saying is that yes, the Diaspora Network for Change is working towards something that will be very valuable. I think we are more action driven than people that like to just talk. So perhaps maybe we might not give in so much or talk so much about it. But because a lot of you have been asking on this platform, we need A, we need B, we need C. We don't know how to go around A or B or C. We are trying to put those things into place. They don't take overnight. But yeah, but we're doing our level best to make sure that things will work out. The diaspora community is very important, and like I said, when we started this conversation, that I personally feel that the diaspora is only needed by by the Zimbabwean government in particular, when they're giving out their remittances, when they're sending money to invest or reinvest in Zim, but not necessarily in terms of decision making. The government is not interested in what you have to say about the money that you're sending, doesn't care about what you want to invest in, it doesn't care about your vote, it doesn't really care about anything. What they just want is really what you can offer in terms of the money, especially, and in terms of you saying only good things about tourism to Victoria Falls to Kariba. But people don't eat Victoria Falls and Kariba. Yes, it is beautiful. God created it. It's not the Zimbabwe that created itself, but we love our country. And in as much as we love our country, we're also doing the very best we can to try and make sure that we are involved, never mind which political affiliations we are in. So yeah. Then I think the reason why my hand was up was to not really address the question, because I think I've already touched on the fact that as Diaspora Network for Change, we are doing something about the concerns that you're raising. But it was also in regards to three or four DMs that I got of people that were asking questions and were saying we don't know the diaspora leaders. Where do we find them? Where do we get them? They're not actively on social media, but we're people in the diaspora and they know that there is no other way to communicate. So I'm just summing up entirely all those DMs. We don't know where to find them. And some of them are not active. Some of them, they don't reach out. We don't even know the activities that are going around in the current regions that we reside in. So I think that's one of the things that if we do have leadership that and I know that the SG is around and some of the MDC Alliance leadership, people are saying that they don't know who their leaders are in the diaspora, and obviously as a party, there should be that direction of if you want to know the president is, you know, it's Nelson Chamisa. If you want to know the SJS, we know it's um, SG Wende. If you want to know who does what, you know who it is. Like Professor Welshman, here's our VP. So people are saying we want the same effect in the diaspora. We want to know who our leaders are. They should be as resourceful. So yeah, I think the VP is back. Maybe let me give it to Professor Welshman. I'm sure there's so many questions that people have asked, and I do hope that you can take it away from now. Over to you, Professor.
You're on mute, Professor. Can you unmute yourself and speak?
Sometimes these gadgets can be very, very playful. You know, when you're asked to speak, you try and press, and sometimes it actually refuses. I think while we're waiting for the professor to come and address your questions, my department is resource mobilization, and I've got a tweet that is on top of this tweet where those who are willing to do any donations, by all means, please do donate. We are still trying to finalize on finishing the fundraiser we started last week with our Treasurer General, Senator David Coltart, to buy a printer which will print the cards for the party, which will also will be used to print the cards that our election monitors are going to be using during the elections. So it is my appeal to those that were saying they don't know where to go when they need to make any donations or when they need to help. We are looking for you. Please, there is a tweet up there. If we can go up right on top of the message there, and make our donations. I think once the professor finished speaking, looks like he's dropped down as well again. The network is really being jealous. I was going to talk a little bit more on what we are doing as resource mobilization. We are looking for resources that will be used by our party in the running of these elections. So this is where we all come in. If we resource our party, we will then be able to compete at the same level as everyone else who is involved in these elections. I know, and I'm sure you know that without your contribution or without your assistance, it's going to be very difficult for us. And I think that this particular time, with everyone with their hands on the deck, we are going to make this a very difficult election for whoever is going to be competing, with everyone coming here so that we can decide our fate, and our fate can be decided by you. I do thank you, and I'm going to hand the mic to DMV. You've got your hand up, and then MDCA while we are waiting for the professor to come back.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, everybody who is here attending this space. My name is Tafazwa Matinenge, and I am the branch chairperson for DMV. DMV standing for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We are located in North America province. So I just wanted to focus my response on those who had concerns regarding the existence of the party and the structures, um, outside of Zimbabwe. Like I've introduced myself, we are an existing branch, and I'm happy to say that here in North America, we have very good leadership and existing branch which work efficiently and who have existing members. For us today, for instance, as a branch, our responsibility has been in making sure that we are doing phone banking. And what do I mean by phone banking? We are actually making phone calls to people on the ground and ensuring that they are registered to vote. What do they need to register, and what issues they're facing, and making sure that we assisting them in whatever ways we can. So for those who are looking for information as to where is the MDC, how can I join the party, which branch can I join? So Twitter is one way of getting that information. And if that information is not readily available, we are looking at ways in addition where you can be able to find this information. For starters, we are looking at ways how the existing website of the MDC that is currently existing needs to have that information available so that when you go and search on the website, it should be clear to you that North America has these existing branches, and these are the contacts. When it comes to South Africa, when it comes to New Zealand, when it comes to UK, those are the updates and the discussions that we're currently having, and I'm sure will be done within within the next coming weeks or months, so that we can be able, so that people can be able to find this information readily. uh, Twitter, searching on the website, going on Facebook, or even on one-on-one conversations. And I'm glad that we have our leadership that is here. We have our SG that is here. That way, if you need this information, he can also be able to provide you. So there are so many ways that you can be able to get in contact with us. In North America, we are led by Chief Shoshe. He is always readily available and will be able to uh, put you in touch with the right people and the right individuals that can help you in knowing how you can be better involved within the party. I'm always an advocate of people joining structures, joining the existing branches that are available. I'm very happy that we have a citizens convergence, that people are working together, but there is also much more work that is done. And that work is only you can only know about what that type of work if you're within the party, and if you buy your membership, if you join the party, I'm sorry, if you join the party. So these are the ways that you can be able to join, that you can be able to know. We are not only looking for resources, we're looking for human resources. There are a lot of things that need to be done, and I think, as Jessica has alluded, that we are also making a database of where we can be able to get in touch with the many talent that we have in the Zimbabwean community, whether it's locally in Zimbabwe or outside. I, in 2018, went to vote. So when we look at the diaspora vote, I think that we need to be ready and equip yourselves. We know that 2023 elections are coming. So if you are able to vote, I am encouraging everybody, please make sure that you are actually making steps in making sure that make your voice be counted. Make your vote be counted. If you can go and vote and you are in the diaspora, then go and vote. For those who are not able to, for situations that are out of their control, including Manyema paper, those are legitimate concerns. There's so many ways that you can help. Make sure that your family member, amaina baba vako vakarejista here, hanzvadzi yako yakarejista here, shamwari yako yakarejista here. All of those things add to your ability in making sure that you are taking part in the Zimbabwe that needs to change leadership. Because if you look at yourself and you say kuti hapana zvandingakwanisa kuita, zvakangofanana nemunhu ari muzimbabwe chaiye chaiye ari kutaura kuzvonichi ndinochinja situation yekuita sei. So I'm encouraging you kuti whatever you do, when you wake up every day, make it your choice, make it your action plan to make sure kuti saka ndiani wandiri kuona mufamily mangu, unotanga nemumba mako imomo, hanzvadzi yako, amai nababa vako ndo vavanotanga kuti vakarejista here. Kana vakarejista, uchavabatsira kuti ndichivatarise pavoters roll, zita ravo riripo here, information yavo iripo here. There are so many things that we can do, and I think if you don't say kuti don't look at all of these impediments and think kuti you know, zvakadai nezuro saka nhasi handichakwanise kuzviita. There's so many things that you can do, and I know kuti every little thing, every little action that you are able to do ensures that we can be able to get to a new place and a new direction.
Thank you, my leader.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry I took long.
Thank you. I'm gonna give it to the MDCA Caroliners, but unless if my host wants to come in quickly, and then you can come back.
Yes. I wanted to say, all those who are looking for information, it is a good idea to follow our handle right now, like the handle of the hosts, because we'll be sharing information through that, and our guests will be coming. You see, we are having our VP, we had the SG, and we had the Treasurer General, and next week we are going to be having another VP again come to talk to us. So if you follow us, you are going to benefit a lot from the information, and that's going to help you so much. So just click on the profile of the host, then follow us, and you are going to benefit a lot in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, host. I think they say your network is your net worth. Let's try and follow each other. And following each other, I'm sure that way we will be able to know what is happening from all corners of the world. And I think Professor is connecting now. I am going to wait for him to connect. As soon as he's ready, I will let him speak. I'll let you speak, Professor. Thank you. Professor,
your mic is muted. If you can kindly unmute.
On my screen is on. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, because of my network challenges, I barely heard any of the questions. I heard a lot of the hosts towards the end about what you guys are doing, what you want to do. The only question that I had was the one on ZBC. I don't think that ZBC will change. I don't think any legal actions around it, any court orders will get ZBC to change, or the Herald or the state newspapers. They all are aware that they are acting unconstitutionally in terms of the constitutional provisions regulating their operations. They are prohibited from doing what they are doing, but they do it nonetheless. So my take, indeed the take of the leadership of the MDC is that, yes, we will continue to fight for electoral reforms. Yes, we will continue to fight for evening out of the electoral playing field. But we must prepare for the worst case scenario. We must prepare to take on the regime even if we have no reforms. We must be prepared to fight electorally with the ZBC biased, with the Herald biased, with the police biased. We must unite, we must work together, we must converge and overwhelm them, notwithstanding all the things they do to cling to power. That's the only way to, even if to get, they will ensure that they are at the last minute and will have useful impact on the election itself. So that's what I can say is that if there are any other issues I didn't hear that also wish to summarize.
Yes, I'll give you a summary of the questions, VP. So the first one is like, can we have lawyers that can represent us when it comes to diaspora voting? Then what value do you see in the diaspora with ZANU-PF doing what it does, like only wanting remittances? What does the MDC do to benefit those in the diaspora, or how can the MDC benefit from those in the diaspora? Then there is also like, how can we help those in the diaspora to be better cadres and better MDC members than or to the same level as those who are in the country or who are on the ground? Then can we have a non-partisan way of looking at diaspora issues, since we are all Zimbabweans? Then the issue for the Zimbabwe exemption permits in South Africa and how that can be solved. There's also an issue of, do you think the approach that we are currently using as the MDC Alliance is the right approach? Then the issue that Zimbabweans in South Africa don't have papers, so they can't go to vote. Then are there no bilateral relationships between Zimbabwe and some other countries that can benefit those in the diaspora? Then the issue which you addressed, which is about, which you said ZBC, it was actually an issue about ZEC. I think the person said ZEC, that whether we have confidence that the ZEC is going to do the right job. Then the issue that the party is not saying anything on issues like the Beit Bridge border crisis. So those are the questions that were there. Unfortunately, has dropped. I think we can hand over the questions. I see the SG has joined the panel. You can help with answering those questions if you have heard them. And the professor is here, so we'll give the professor, whilst his network is okay, then we'll go to the SG later on. Go ahead, VP.
We can't hear him. So I think let's pass it over to the SG, and I think in particular the Secretary General has been making calls and has been talking a lot, and he has been on our platform before in regards to actually mobilizing resources and how we can go around the diaspora, the diaspora assistance. And I think, SG, if you can also then touch on that and also touch on who people contact. I acknowledge Tafi Matinenga, who gave us a little bit of insight of how we can go around things, but it would also be nice to hear from a party position of how general people who are just walking in the street, like me and the rest of the listeners, how we can go around finding our leaders in our respective regions. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope, I don't know whether you can hear me, because I was having also challenges with my network. Maybe if I can get 100 from the co-hosts, just to confirm that I'm Yes, okay, no, that's fine. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, our diaspora desk that is hosting this. Thank you to Jessica. Thank you to Mkoma Washington. Thank you to all the comrades who are here. I had joined this space specifically to listen because I always come to many spaces with my team from the Secretary General's office, my director, my PA, because I want them to take note of what the citizens will be talking about, so that whatever you speak can also then be processed within the organs of the party, so that these platforms can also then benefit and inform the decisions that the party makes. So I always, if there's a space, I'm always available. So I had come to listen, but the professor, the vice president of the party, is having challenges, and I'm sure you can see how uncomfortable I am, because in terms of the party protocol, you can't assume the shoes of the big man when he's there, but I will try to help out and answer some questions. The question that I think I should start with is the visibility of our diaspora leaders. I think that is a genuine concern, because I also receive on a day-to-day basis messages from around the world about people that want to contribute to the MDC but don't know how and where to contribute. And I then sometimes end up just giving them contacts for the leaders that are there. But I shouldn't be giving people in UK the contact of the UK provincial chair if they are doing their work, or the American provincial chair, because they are constitutionally mandated to run that province. In terms of the people that are there, those ones that want to be part of our structures, and also just organize the party in America. So those things they must be able to manage them. But we have a problem that I must acknowledge. I'm trying to be very practical. Most of the time, the diaspora structures, they have not been organized to the level that we expect. Because if we say we've got 5 million diasporans from Zimbabwe, it should show in the way that the diaspora structures of MDC manages their affairs. They've done also well. They've helped us, all this time. They've been helping us with the donations and all. But we still feel that they can do more, because when citizens come and say that they don't know where to go, we should be having offices, district offices in every city in UK. Why not? Rent an office there, organize the people there, because the diaspora is an important resource. Because Zimbabwe, people are suffering. People can't fund the struggle. You can see how I want to appreciate the citizens, how it took you no time to raise a car, and the noise that ZANU-PF caused. Because what ZANU-PF has done is they've closed every space that can contribute financially to the MDC, including opening an account. It's very difficult. They know the importance of money. So sometimes they come here and laugh at you. Me, they've done that many times. Like when you're asking for flyers, they come and make fun of you. But look, we know how important it is. Last week, I was on a diaspora forum. I ended up with 150,000 flyers. That means 150,000 households. We are going to do door to door. They are going to benefit. It's a significant number for those people that are on the ground, that are trying to pass the message of change. So in terms of what we are going to have a road show this year, and the president also will join us in some of the meetings that we are going to have. We are going to go to South Africa, we are going to go to America, we are going to go to UK, we are going to go to Canada, Australia, all the countries. So we'll have a roadshow where we are going to be joined also by our diaspora structures, so that we can then try to resolve these issues that around representation, how they can also be effective, and also I heard one of the members from the structure also saying that we have not also assisted them as the head office, and I accept. We need to also be on the ground in the diaspora, help them to mobilize people that are in their localities and so forth. So that program is coming, and I hope we will then be able to. But for now, the safest way is for you to join the party if you want to contribute through the website, because when you go to the website, then you are then rerouted to the specific structure that you must also then contribute. For instance, if you are in Canada, you apply for membership there, we process your membership, but then we share your details with the Canadian structure, who must ordinarily contact you. But what I've seen is, in most of the people in the diaspora, they don't want anything to do with the structures because they say that they are always fighting. I don't know what they are fighting for. They don't come to them, and also so most of them prefer to deal directly with us. So it's something that we are trying to resolve, so that people can contribute through our branches, through our structures. Then the other issue is, how can the diaspora contribute? I know the issue of the diaspora vote. I'm glad that Dr. Magaisa is here. He has spoken about internal reforms that we can do ourselves. Because look, we are in Africa. We are dealing with possibly one of the most brutal regimes, the military regime of Mnangagwa. And we understand, look, that they are not willing to do most of the reforms that we are crying for. But so the role that the leadership must play is to look at what is preventing us from winning, for example, the impediments that are there, and see how we can internally improve them. Because there is a lot of issues that we can also do ourselves. Like for the diaspora vote, Mnangagwa doesn't want the diaspora vote, at least on record. He doesn't even want people that are in jail to vote, even if the constitution allows them. The constitution allows even people who are in the diaspora to vote. I don't put those mechanisms for those people to vote. We are going to fight. The president said this is the year of action. We are going to try. But if they don't agree and accept, we must still be able to find alternative ways of subverting that, so that we can still participate and win. Just like what our comrades in Zambia did, we have learned a lot of lessons from there, that even in circumstances that are similar to us, it's possible for you to win. You just need to have your eyes on the ball. You need to resolve those issues that Dr. Magaisa pinpointed. Okay, there are these issues, but because of A, B, C, D, you are not doing your primary elections properly. You are imposing candidates. You are having double candidates, and so forth. So these are issues that we must resolve, and we think that the diaspora can help. The diaspora can help with voter registration. They can help, like what they are now doing with the finances. I don't want to overemphasize, but we appreciate. In MDC, I always tell people that if you, for Mnangagwa to have a rally in the White City Stadium, he probably needs not less than 300,000 American dollars. I've seen that. But if I get $4,000 I can fill a White City Stadium for Africa Chamisa, because we have got people that are coming there also contributing. People who are willing to contribute for the struggle, people who are genuine, and so forth. ZANU-PF has to bust people, has to beat up people, has to force people, and also they steal money from those people. So so whatever small money that we can save, it's important to us. And whatever assistance that we can receive from the diaspora, like what you have done, we are now, I can safely say in this space, that the resources that you are giving, we are able now to launch a door-to-door exercise in every constituency on 1st February. We are still mobilizing flyers and so forth. But the party is alive, the party is breathing, and thanks to you guys. So all those are the issues that we will be looking at. If they adopt a polling station strategy that we introduced, we have now finalized the software, and this software we are going to test it during the by-elections. It's the one that is going to ensure that we cover all polling stations. We've got V11s, and also we are able to announce results ourselves through I know you can be arrested if you say that, but look, it's the website that's going to announce, and it's a reality. If they want to arrest, they can arrest. But we now have a website that we have accepted assistance from the citizens that we are going to test, which is hosted somewhere else, that will be able to announce results. We will no longer wait for SEC to tell us what is the results in Kwazan. So we are excited, and we are testing all those things. So we want to encourage you guys to continuously assist, phone your relatives at home. We don't only need money, like what Jessica said. Sometimes we lack the technical capacity to execute some tasks. I'm just I'm a politician. If you come to politics, my slogan, I'm sure very few people can compete with me. That's why I'm Monzo. But I also know my limitations. We have got doctors, we've got lawyers, we've got scientists, we've got political scientists. Come and help us. We don't know everything. Bring your skill. We all need to assist each other. We all need to bring whatever we can bring on the table so that we can bring change to the country. I know you are worried about the issue of the name, and we are solving that, like what the president has said. And I can confirm that over the weekend, we are going to have meetings of leadership, national executive, national council. They are now going to deal with these issues. And today, throughout the country, we deployed 210 delegates that went to speak to people in all constituencies. Gathering. I know people are complaining, why you've been consulting people all over for the whole year. But that's the nature of the MDC. We don't make decisions. We are just leaders, but we understand that this party is owned by structures. There are people that are there that must have a say. Even if it is going to take us time, we always give them in. Those Vachangrai taught us, don't decide on behalf of the people. ZANU-PF Yagata Politburo, they will decide things that will happen in the country for the next 6 months. But it's not how we operate. We prefer to go. So today, I was sitting on my computer now, analyzing the reports that are coming from the rest of the country. Consultations have been made. People have been asked about the candidates that are there, the ones that have been recalled, whether they still want them. I know there's few cases of corruption in local government. We also didn't want to say if you are a councillor who has been recalled, automatically you must be a candidate. No, what if you've been cited in corruption cases? Your ward, your people that represent must have a say. So we have given them to have that say, and these reports are going to be consolidated. And next weekend, the leadership is going to be given those reports, and we are going to make decisions around all the issues that have been giving us problems, and so forth. So we want just to urge everyone. I see the professor is here. I know where he stays. Sometimes because he's a very big farmer there. So I suspect weekends he will be tending to his business there. So I want to give him a chance since he's having network now, so that he can come and answer some of the questions, because I was just standing in for him just to help whilst he was connecting. But what we want to urge everyone is that give us a chance. We are a listening leadership. We have heard what you said. The structures have spoken, the citizens have spoken, and it's now time for the leadership to review all the inputs, and a decision is going to be made soon. But you must understand that among all the opposition parties in this world, I think we have got the toughest conditions that we are operating in. They can take even the name, like now, you can't even safely say you are MDC Zimbabwe. 2 days ago, I got a call from one gentleman in South Africa.
he said, no, SG, I'm the one who owns the MDC Zimbabwe at ZEC. So I'm offering it to you. Then I said, but who are you? He said, no, I'm sorry, so I'm in South Africa. But how do you register a party and go and reside in South Africa? Then you come and offer a party. So there are a lot of games like that. CIOs registering come. If you go to the deeds office, you would see the names that have been registered, the names that the patents office, you see a lot of names have been patented and all those things. So it's a difficult terrain. And sometimes, like the leadership, what we have said is, we have said, look, even in the National Council, even in the National Executive, we've made a resolution. The president, because of the seriousness of the matter, come up with a smaller committee that will advise you on the appropriate moniker that we are going to use. But we are always going to be the MDC Alliance. But for purpose of participating in an election, we need to differentiate ourselves, come up with a moniker. But I also even understand, I was talking to the president today, I said, look, the way everyone wants to know the name, even ZANU-PF people, they can't sleep. They want to know which name are you going to participate. This has become a serious national security issue. So my concern, my word to the citizens is that, look, we are now going to finalize all those issues. We are going to review all the issues you have given us the important points. Thanks to the leadership, Wanama Gaisa, we read all those things that you write. I've attended all the spaces. I've summarized everything, including at Wanama Hope today. I was there, summarized everything we are going to give to the leaders. And I can assure you that after the weekend, next weekend, we are going to have a proper direction on the way forward. So I want to give back to the host. I will be here listening, but also I can come in and answer specific questions because I had not prepared, because I thought it was just one of those listening sessions. But as leadership, we are always called. I see also my senior leader, Kore, is there, the vice president. She also should come in and also assist in some areas. But let's give a chance to a professor, since he's there, so that he can then help us with the other questions. But I will stay. If you need clarification on any other matter, I will be there. And also the Vice President Kore will be there. Commander Obesto, I see you, salute you. Thank you. Over to you, co-host Jessica.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable. Perhaps I will give it back to the host if we still have anything, but I think holistically, I think the SG has exhausted most of the issues that people had. I can see that Leader Siapondo just dropped. I think I was going to ask him to speak. But I think he has touched on a lot of things, and I think even the things that people had not asked, but I'm sure the diaspora has always would have wanted to really know about the name, about what's going on the ground. And I think, SG Wende, thank you so much for addressing those concerns. We obviously trust your leadership and the role that the leadership is doing to the movement. So thank you so much. Back to you, the host.
Thank you so much. I think we've had a wonderful time here. But before I hand over to the resource mobilization co-host, I don't know if the SG would want to say something about Uzumba, because I remember we did Uzumba here, Uzumba, Maramba Pfungwe, and the other areas. And maybe people might just want to know how the work is going there, if there's any need for us to do something extra or something like that. And, so you can just, if you're at liberty, you can tell us maybe about those 5 constituencies.
Okay. No, thank you very much. I want to appreciate the citizens. We got assistance, valuable assistance from the citizens for Uzumba, then Maramba Pfungwe, separate constituents, then Marondera East, then we had also one of the Mutokos also assisted. So a total of 5 constituents were assisted, and with that assistance, we have now fully covered the door-to-door exercise. Because what I've said, like when I came here, is that Zimbabwe, one fatigue, and it's a fact. People are tired, and you need the political branches, the party, to go door to door, talk to people, convince them, mobilize them, so that they can come out and go to the polling stations. Because now, from the 1st of February, the voter registration will be at the nearest polling station. But you can't just assume that people will go on their own. People need to be mobilized. They need to be convinced. That's where the diaspora also come. Look at your household. You are in South Africa, but kumusha kwenyu you are from Murewa. Unozaba mdiki vanogara vachinetsa vaya vaya, mbuya, mai. Talk to them. At this stage, just convince them to go and register. Not even to vote for MDC, but just to register to be on the voter roll. So that at a personal level, you can safely say, at my household, in the village, all the people that are there are registered. I have a confession to make. Sometimes you overlook a lot of things. The last election, I overlooked my maid. She had not registered. I registered the other people, but I forgot the maid. Later on, I was asking, but she said, no, say I didn't vote because I was not registered. Then I also realized that I didn't include it. So let's make sure that we do that. You are in the diaspora, but tenga airtime marume, call phone them, pester them, ask them to post for you my registration slip. It's that basic and technical. If we don't do that, it's a problem. When I was doing door to door in the urban areas, in the rural areas, just for me to have a few, my youth people are just tired. They need motivation. So let's do that. So in those 5 constituencies, I can safely say, you'll see with the figures. Your assistance, you will be following it through. You will see increases in new voters in those constituencies that we have assisted. And I must thank also the citizen, the other platform that is raising. They also added 100,000 flyers, but particularly for Marsh East. So Marsh East, we now have 150,000. So I can safely say all the households will be visited, given flyers, mobilized, and so forth. So we are going to be doing that. So we want also the other provinces to also be assisted. We know Mat North, Mat South, they still need assistance. So the diaspora structures will also be chipping in to help those ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, SG, for the update you have. Before I hand over to co-host Washington, I just want to recognize the presence of the former president of the ZCTU, Comrade Peter Mtasa. You are welcome, and thank you for gracing our occasion. Currently, what I can say is the session where we were discussing the challenges faced by the diaspora Zimbabweans has been quite a success, but as is our custom, we always know that we need resources for the party, like what we did for Uzumba. And there's a current project that is going on, which is about the membership card machine. So I will give co-host Washington to tell us what is left and how we can contribute to that. So co-host Washington, it is your time. When you are done, then we'll see the way forward. So go ahead.
Thank you, host. Thank you, host. Thank you, SG. I think it's really important what you have done. The people that donated the 2,500 are here, and they are hearing for themselves that your money has been used, and there's definitely going to be an increase in voters in the areas Uzumba, Maramba Pungwe, Mudzi, Mrewa, and part of Marondera. So we really appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, resource mobilization is an area of my passion. And for us to be able to get our foot soldiers, our leaders, to do their work, we need to resource them. And this is the time now that we are now asking our leaders, our friends, our brothers and sisters to say, let's find somewhere in your heart that says, this is the time. Our leadership is here. It's late in Zimbabwe. They are here with us, and they are here to try and make sure we continue to follow the party line, to continue to do what we do best. We are here. We can't go and throw stones. The stones that we can throw is the resources that we can deep down in our pockets that will go and help the party to function. So we've got a link which is right at the top, and that link, we've got a printer which I mentioned earlier. That is going to be, it's a printer that print cards, and the cards that it prints all sorts of cards. It will print the party cards. It will also print the cards that can be used in any election with names of delegates, delegation who will be participating. So my ask is that we managed to raise about 3,200 last weekend with Senator David Coulthard. And today we had our vice president, and we've got our secretary general and our other leadership. My ask is, we need your help, and your help. It doesn't matter what you can afford. There's over 900 of us here. Imagine if we are to say each penny that war is by making sure we resource our party, and we are resourcing our party. And you take a 20 pounds, a 10 pounds, a 5 pounds, a $5, a $10, a $20, a $50, a $100, a $200, $300, $1,000, whatever your heart tells you is what we need to try and do. We are going to be resourcing our party through activities that we're going to be doing at these rallies. We are also going to be developing and making sure our party develop through these rallies as well, because we are saying we are there and we are here. Our leadership is here. Membership, we've got a website. You can go through the website, or you can come through to the leaders on this platform. We have our MDC Diaspora Alliance handle. Follow it. Let's follow it. We would know what is happening, when and where. And if there are any questions, please do not hesitate. Just leave us a message and we'll get back to you. We will direct you to where you need to go. If you need to help, this is the time. There's an analog which I needed to share with everyone today. I think it's trending on different social medias. When a thief comes to your house and steal, whether your TV or whatever they steal, you put burglar bars in your house, you get it, or you put a drawer. That thief, when you catch it, is arrested and sent to prison. But we've got ZANU-PF who are stealing our lives, who has stolen our lives, and they're still scot-free. The only way for us to arrest them is to make sure we resource a party that has given us hope to remove them. That is the only way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go to the PayPal and do my bit. We have a link which is right at the top there. Please go onto that link and share your donation, and we will be announcing the amount that we have raised today. We are looking for 8,000 for that printer. So we are hoping we'll be able to raise enough that will make us acquire that printer, and we would move to the next items for the elections. I want to thank you for that, and I'm going back to the back to do my contribution. I'm handing over the mic to you, host.
Thank you so much. Now we have reached a different level. So right now, any contribution that you are going to make needs to start with your donation. So if you have requested and you know you are not going to donate, kindly drop your request. So we'll start with MDCA Carolinas. Can you come up and talk? Can you put your donation? And then we go to the next. We want as many people to come and say their donations as they go.
Thank you very much, my brother Zico, and good afternoon to everybody. And I'm very grateful that our national leadership is here with us, our Vice President, Secretary General, youth leadership, and so forth, provincial chairpersons. And I am the branch chair of the Carolinas. So that's the MDCA Carolinas. For those who are in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, hey, just reach out to me. If you don't have any other way, you can reach out to me through Twitter. My phone number is 646-402-1056. I'm just going to make a quick comment on some issues, that I think are very relevant why we are here today. So as a Zimbabwean, I heard it when people talk about us as if we are foreigners. We may be in foreign lands, but we are no less Zimbabweans. We're as Zimbabwean as they come. And you never hear Americans talk about Americans as diasporans. They talk about Americans wherever they are in the world, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in Asia. So I wish we would get to that place as Zimbabweans where we are talked about as Zimbabweans, not as second-class citizens, just because we are in the diaspora. And that is why I think the diaspora desk is very important for all Zimbabweans, not just those in the MDCA. And we hope that over time, diasporans will find this a good platform to interact and to raise concerns that not just affect us in the MDCA, but as Zimbabweans. So we are all Zimbabweans, period. And we are very thankful for this effort. And like some speakers have said in the past, we are on our own and we have to work to fix our country. Nobody else will do it for us. And so for any Zimbabwean out there, I'm glad that there are people who are wondering where the structures are, because I hope you mean that you're going to participate. And for you to participate fully, you should join a local structure as a beginning. You can't love the party just back home, but you don't love it here in the Carolinas. Please, we will be happy to work with you wherever you are and whatever level is comfortable for you. So please reach out to local structures so that we can work together. I just have a couple of questions that I have for our national leadership on issues that affect us Zimbabweans in the diaspora. One is passports. What is our comment? Because we have heard all these announcements about passports becoming obsolete in 2023 and also passport trees. What are we doing about that? The second question relates to travel restrictions. As people in the diaspora want to visit family in Zimbabwe, but now you have to pay 60 US dollars for COVID tests, and then you get quarantines, and sometimes they announce quarantines. It's not clear. So what is the party position on those issues? Thank you very much. And I'm donating my $15, and I hope everybody will do at least 15. And I'll do more if everybody who is coming after me will do the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll also do my 15 since I am the one who came right after you. And from there, we'll go to MDC Ontario.
Thank you so much, leadership. I am the organizing secretary for the Ontario branch here in Toronto. I want to thank the leadership for gracing us on this occasion. So for those who want to join our structures here in Toronto, we have a lot of branches here in in Canada, we have our Ontario branch here in Toronto. Then we have another branch in Montreal. We have another branch in Alberta. Then we have an upcoming one in British Columbia. So for those who are in Canada who want to join us, you can write to me on this Twitter account.
I think MDC Ontario, I don't know, they are having challenges. I hope they heard the message that if you come after Dr. Anga, you need to put your 15. We will hear when he is back. We go to Mr. Mateu.
Thank you very much, Nico. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and especially to the leadership here from the VP, SG, and all the other leadership. No, I've just come I've been listening, and I've just come in to maybe just support some of the issues that have been raised here. The first issue that I would like to talk about is I'm so happy that at the end of at last, as the MDC Alliance, we went on to implement the Citizens Conventions for Change. And we did not only do that, we went on to, for the first time, create a Diaspora Affairs Department, which actually looks into the issues of the diaspora. Because too often, the diaspora has been neglected by both the ruling party and even the MDC Alliance itself. And so I'm so happy that at least right now, we can see the product coming from the citizens. Truly, yes, we all know that in Zimbabwe we've got a brain drain, and we know that most of the brains that were in Zimbabwe decided to go and ply their trade elsewhere, and this is why you find that we end up having in Zimbabwe deficiency in terms of management of the country. It's because of that. And also, let me say that I do support the SG Wende, when he said that we don't need as much money as ZANU has got. Because I mean, we all know that ZANU PF actually uses government coffers in order to do party business, and I think where ZANU PF maybe needs $100, we only need $10, because why? Our main resource is the human resource itself. And where ZANU-PF will have to drive people and hire buses and everything, we've got people walk into an MDC alliance platform and or rally without any cohesion or anybody actually pushing them to do so. And so lastly, let me say that I want to encourage that we people in the diaspora to actually try as much as we can to donate towards the MDC Alliance. And I'm no longer limiting it to the party structures. I've seen the results from the citizens themselves. And so I think the opening up the citizens has been a major benefit for the party. And I think we should
Hello.
Go on, my brother. We can't hear you, my brother Jason. We can't hear you.
Mr. Mateu, we've lost you. Whilst he's trying to connect, we are just going to give a minute to each and every person who is here. We'll start with Howard.
I've just done my donation. I've put 40 in, So yeah, come on, guys. Let's try and do our best.
Howard, go ahead. Okay, we can't hear Howard as well. JT, can you go ahead?
Yes, thanks very much for allowing me to speak. I'll put my donation after this. But all I wanted to say is just to reiterate what our SG had said in terms of the importance of the diaspora. And I just want to remind everyone in the diaspora, when you send that money home to relatives, we just need to keep pushing them to say, I'm sending I'm sending you this money home, but you need to register to vote. And where to put their X, they know, because obviously of the situation they are. We shouldn't be sending money kunevano arukumba, but because of the situation we need to keep reminding them kuti, we are sending this money home, but we need you to register to vote. And they would know where to put the X because of the situation they're currently going through. So I just want to, this is what I just wanted to reiterate with the diaspora. We can make a huge change in terms of influencing people at home. And I mean, we need to use that. So that's my contribution. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Can we go to Tafazwa?
Yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to appreciate you guys hosting this platform for us to be able to articulate our appreciations and the needs that we have in terms of our diaspora constituencies. I'm a chairperson of the MDC North America district, specifically for the West Coast, which covers the state of Texas, the state of Columbus, the state of California, and all other surrounding states within the United States around the West Coast. I just want to say that we appreciate our leadership for continuously guiding us in terms of how we need to function as an external assembly. And to let you know that we are ready to host President Chamisa here within our Triple C. I'd like to say that in 2019, we were able to raise money to be able to invite President Chamisa to come to the United States of America, including Canada. So the money has been there since 2019. And through our provincial leadership that is here, the provincial leadership of North America, and also through our national leadership, I just wanted to make this appeal that we would love to host President Chamisa here in the United States. The money, we raised it, it's there, it's been sitting in our account since 2019. So we just want to make that aware. It would be nice for our president to visit because, as you say, how can we tap into the diaspora community? One thing that I've consistently heard within the constituency that I represent is that people want to see our leadership. People want to come and see President Chamisa. They love him so much and they want to come. And I do believe that that will also assist us in terms of recruitment within the North America province, and I'm sure also in other external assemblies. Thank you, and I'll also make my $20 donation on behalf of the MDC North America West Coast Triple C. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your generous donation. Can we go to Birina Ganyire, something like that?
Hi, good evening.
Yes,
my name is Henry. I'm in South Africa. Thank you so much for touching on a lot of things. We really appreciate. I just need to add my 2 cents on this issue. I think the leadership needs to move around like what they were doing in Zimbabwe. They need to move around also in the diaspora where we are and just rally us to give us the morale. Yeah, we know we can't be there in other things like voting and stuff, but we will definitely be there in terms of resources, financial resources, also calling our parents, our friends to go and register and vote. We need to be there. But definitely, we need to see action in the diaspora. We are as Zimbabweans as the Zimbabweans who are in Zimbabwe. So we need the same recognition being given to the people in Zimbabwe. We also need it in the diaspora. So please, leadership, we want to see you here in the diaspora. We want your visibility. We know it's difficult, the resources and all that stuff, but we will play our part. I'm also going to put in my 200 rand. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Love More. After Love More, we go to Sabuku. Love More, can you unmute? It seems like Love More can't unmute himself. Let's go to Sabuku Bako.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to recognize our leadership, our VPs, SG Wende. Thank you very much for staging our occasion. As you are aware, I'm all about the money, and resource mobilization is also of my passion. I was on the other space this afternoon, which was hosted by Hope Wachingono, and we had Professor Levensky there. He gave my biggest take from that was, as MDC Alliance, we really have to
Sabu, we are breaking up. We can't hear you.
Oh, am I breaking up? I think something is wrong with my network here, but how is it now?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so we are on our own right now. And of my biggest passion, like I said, is
co-host Washington, can you hear me? So it seems like our co-host is the one who can't hear us.
I can hear
can
you,
you
yes,
go ahead?
but I can't hear Sabu now.
Or do you want me to come out and come back again?
You are audible. I don't know. Jessica, can you hear Sabu?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay, so it's Leader Ali then.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
Leader Washington. Okay, yeah, so like I was saying, and my biggest take from that, we are on our own right now, especially in terms of resources, guys. We have to resource the party. And who else can do that? It's us guys in the diaspora. And it impounds on the challenges that we all mentioned today. But our biggest challenge right now is to resource our party. If not us, who's going to do that? You know the situation with the people back home in Zimbabwe. So our best help is to sponsor them. Our best help is to finance the movement. So we need to finance the movement. And I'm here in Canada. I'm the chairman of the Canada district of the North American province. The North American province involves the the west coast, which is where Chairman Munjanja Uja spoke, and also the east coast. So I'm in the Canada district of the province, and I'm the chairman. For anyone in Canada who needs to contact guys, feel free. My organ spoke earlier on and he got disconnected. Feel free to contact any one of us. My number is there on my Twitter account, but I can also give it to you right now. It's 647-295-1203. Anyone who wants to get in touch with us, feel free. I know we've got a lot of new students who have come up, who come to Canada and they don't know who to contact. Guys in Zimbabwe, if you see these students, direct them to us and we'll help them in so many ways, even in terms of getting employment or even with their papers. We're always here to help. But before I go, like I told you, I'm about the money. I'm donating $50 towards the cause today, and I'm putting it on the portal right away. Otherwise, thank you very much, guys, for being with us today. We always appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you so much. I will go to Mambo Shoshe, our chairman. Go ahead.
Thank you, Zico. Thank you, everyone who has joined the spaces. Let me recognize the leadership of the party here present, our professor, our Vice President Welshman Ncube. Thank you so much for the information that you shared here. We appreciate that. The People's Vice President, Amai Linet Karenyi Kore, we see you. Pamamaka Gejo. Thank you so much. Pamamuru Kuma Rally, Kuma Ruzeva. We see all the good work that you do. Rambai Makazikisa Gejo. We appreciate all the good work, and I can tell you we are here to support all the efforts that you are making with the rest of the leadership. Let me also acknowledge and thank the People's SG, SG Wende, for coming in, even though he was not supposed to be speaking. He's a soldier. He came on, and he gave us a lot of vital information about the party name, and other things, even proffering advice to us as external assemblies. Let me speak briefly on the issues that have been raised here to do with the visibility of the MDC Alliance external assemblies. We take all the advice that we have been given, and will continue to do everything possible to ensure that we are visible. But just to reiterate what our branch chairperson, Leader Matinenga, said, we have various Facebook pages. North America province has a Facebook page and a Twitter handle, very vibrant, and at least 6 of our branches here have Facebook pages. So if you want to join the MDC Alliance in North America, if you just Google, you'll see us. We are very visible. In conjunction with other external assemblies, we've done a lot of e-rallies. We started a new concept e-demos. We have done that in a bid to reach out to the people of Zimbabwe, and also to carry out one of our biggest mandates, which is advocacy. And we'll continue to do all those online activities. And I think one thing that we have not done when we are doing all those activities is to put out our details, our Twitter handles, our Facebook pages, so that people can see that this is how they can easily join the party. So that's why I say we take seriously the concerns that have been raised here by different people, that they don't see us when they want to see us. So we'll definitely start, putting out our pages and our Twitter handles so that they're everywhere. And we work very closely with the diaspora desk, diaspora affairs, and I will always continuously appreciate what the leadership of the party and our president, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, a listening president who listen to us, because as external assemblies, as people in the diaspora, we've been asking for us to have a liaison person, between the people in the diaspora and the leadership, and also the party in Zimbabwe. And they gave us Leader Swatwayo, and is doing such a great job. We are seeing here his team is working. He's not even here, but the diaspora technical team is doing a lot of good work. Also, helping the party to mobilize for resources. So we want to thank you so much for that, and for all the words that I've said and the time that I've taken. I'm going to chip in with $120. I think it's already in there. I've already put it. But thank you so much, everyone who is here. I urge you to support the initiatives that are going on. I want to thank the leadership of the province that is here. If you go to the other spaces where the citizens will be, you will see and you hear the presence of the North America province. Leader Mjanja will be there, Sabuk will be there, and many other leaders from North America will be there. Let's continue to do what we are doing. This is the way to go. We need to resource our party. We need to support the programs on the ground. We can't be there to throw stones like Leader Washington was saying, but the only way we can throw those stones is by putting our hands in our pocket and making sure that our candidates that are going for the by-elections have resources. Our party, as we prepare for 2023, we have the necessary resources that we need. We can only do it for ourselves. Nobody else is going to do it for us. So let's do this, guys. We can do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Soshe. Let's try to keep our comments very tight. I'll go to the ambassador to the to Europe, Mr. Elliot Beve. Can you go ahead?
Thank you, co-host. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our national leadership, provincial leadership, our districts and branches, our friends and all those who support MDC Alliance. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And especially I want to acknowledge the presence of the VP, Professor Ncube, and our VP Kore. I think I've been listening since the this space started, and I want the leadership in the diaspora to take the suggestion seriously as constructive criticism, especially with in relation to President and reaching out to the diaspora community. And I think the first thing is that we need to acknowledge that we have not been doing everything humanly possible, and that we must up the game and then support our leadership who are on the ground. And I would like, I know there were some within the UK who were not aware of structures or activities of the MDC Alliance. I get quite a lot of people who contact me, and I do, with the due diligence, signpost them to various of our structures. So if there are some who are listening at the moment, they can contact me, and my name is Ambassador Elliot Feve. You can Google and you get the contacts, and most of them, most of people within the European Union, they are aware of my contacts. So get in touch with me, and then I'll signpost you to the structures within either Europe or within UK. What I've done is, in respect to the appeal, and I'm very grateful that we have now broadened the spectrum of diaspora, not only confined to the structures, but to everybody who is in the diaspora, who may not necessarily be in the structure, to stand up and support the party of choice, which is MDC Alliance. In that regard, I have put 20 years already on the appeal, but I'll be mobilizing more and working closely. I'm working very closely with our Secretary for Diaspora, who is our Minister Clifford Isishoaya. Thank you very much, co-host.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate. We'll go to Leader Barbara. Leader Barbara, you can unmute and speak. Okay, we'll move on to Leader Tawanda. Tawanda, can you go ahead?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that in as much as we have a bigger problem, like which is ZANU-PF, that we need to remove, right? But life is going on now, and I think the MDC also needs to be sensitive to the plight of diasporans that are facing challenges right now. Because when I joined the platform, I heard that it is addressing challenges that are being faced by diaspora Zimbabweans. But apparently, from what I'm seeing, most of the focus is on fundraising to remove ZANU-PF. But then now, I wanted to share what ZANU-PF is doing actually currently with regards to the ZEP permits. It's dispatching lawyers to help people to reapply for permits, to do anything related to the permits. So to me, that is politicking that is happening right now in the diaspora. people are seeing it as their savior, and then you are not there on the ground. Like it's like a church, right? When there's a funeral, right? Your friends don't come, and then only your enemies show up with gifts and something, and then they come as friends. That will be happening in the diaspora. So my contribution is that as MDC, it needs to be there, right? In whatever form. I'm not saying that they must challenge the decision of the SA government, but there are nitty-gritty details that needs to be solved with the MDC as well, so that it shows that it is with the people, like all the way. And then also the issue of voting, right? There are people that can vote for, that can actually increase the number of votes for the MDC. But then these people, some of them, they're not able to come to Zimbabwe to register. There are programs that can happen, like if we've the leadership in South Africa here can actually mobilize people to say, no, we've got these people, like they've got 100,000 people that they have like in the platform that are in constant contact, that they can say, no, now let's fundraise for say something like 10,000 people to go and register, or even a bigger number. And then not only fundraising for those people, but just to motivate, to keep the spirits up so that people know what is happening. Because some of the people like are not on Twitter, they're not everywhere. They're just suffering here in South Africa, but they're going to be helped to go back. And it's not something that cannot be done, like it's something that can be done. So basically my contribution is that I think we need an approach that is more practical in the meantime with the people that are in the diaspora as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tawanda, for your contribution. Indeed, the topic is addressing challenges faced by diaspora Zimbabweans. And definitely we try to address that, but our main guest, who is VP, was having network challenges. So definitely we dwelled for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, dealing with that issue. And now we have moved on to the next phase, and we are going to ask Chairman Jaji to speak from Australia.
Thank you so much, hosts and co-hosts, and thank you to the leaders who are here. I can see Honorable Wende, Chief Sose there, and other leaders who are here. Yeah, we here in Australia, we support the initiative that is here. We also want to urge those who are in Australia who want to join the party. We have structures in almost every state, and we also have a Facebook page and a Twitter handle here, MDC Alliance Australia. I was listening to some of the concerns that were being raised by citizens here. I also have to acknowledge that sometimes we are not as visible as we should be. But taking note of the concerns being raised, I think we have room to improve, and we have room to also be as visible as we can as structures. But what I wanted to say was to say the issues in Zimbabwe, I think we have debated them for a long time. It's time for citizens, particularly those in the diaspora, to come and act. The party needs resources, and those resources only come from us as citizens and as members. So I think we need to put our hands together and support these initiatives. It's good that we have this diaspora desk, because it somehow unites members from everywhere, and also even members who are not in the structures. So I think we just need to look out there and follow whatever leadership that the team is giving us. So I don't want to say much. I'm going to make my own donation towards the initiative that is here, maybe $60. And to encourage everyone, particularly those who are in Australia, I can see a few guys who are here, to also do the same. Thank you so much, host.
Thank you so much, Chairman Jaji, for your generous donation. And those in Australia, you have heard it for yourselves. that you can join the structures. If you get in touch with us or the Australia handle or any of the party handles, they should be able to direct you to the right people. And Chairman Jaji here talked about us supporting all the initiatives. I think we all know that he is very active in the other initiative, the 2.3 million that is happening, and he has donated, and the team has donated there. We encourage that all initiatives that help us as the party should be supported, and you see him here. You see us and the team that is here with the citizens as well to go and support. So thank you so much, Chairman Jaji. And from there, we'll go to Leader Edziwa. Can you go ahead and speak? Leader Edziwa, Xavier, can you go ahead?
Thank you very much, leadership. My name is Xavier Ziwa. I'm the acting deputy provincial secretary in South Africa. I just want to address, I think there was a comment from South African colleagues who were talking about the maybe non-visibility or they are failing to contact. I think we have contacts obviously on the website and so forth, but what I can just do for ease of expedience, I'll give my number here, and those people can contact me, and then I can link them with the respective districts. My number in South Africa is 072 968 1228. That number again, 072 968 1228. So you can just send me a WhatsApp, and then I can then link you with the respective branches and so forth. In as far as my donation, I think just to say it is something very important that us as citizens and the members of the party, we really oil the machine. I am going to make a contribution of $50 on that note. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Leader Edziwa. From yourself, we go to Blessing Madzima.
I want to acknowledge all the leadership from Vice President Welshman Ncube and Vice President Mike Kore. And also I would want to acknowledge Secretary General Wende. It is my greatest pleasure to be on this platform tonight, because if all of us have noticed that there's quite a big development within our political party, because, and I want to appreciate that Secretary General Wende has mentioned that a lot of people, they've become weary, and also they're a bit, skeptical about so many things. But at the end of the day, the struggle continues, because what is more important is to find a strategy and a mechanism to ensure that Zimbabwe comes back to the people, and our leadership embraces the transformation and all the things that we aspire as a citizen. I don't want to take much time. Myself, I think a lot of people, they know me. I'm from the UK. I've worked quite a lot with the leaders like Mr. Mujanja. I've worked also with people from home like Comrade Nende. I've supported quite a lot of initiatives back home. All I just need is to encourage people to believe in a cause. And what makes you believe in a cause is a notion that you want freedom. And freedom is not about your neighbor, it's not about anybody else, but it's about yourself. And that on its own should be a motivation which will also motivate your neighbor, and it will motivate the people who are back home, because we all have a role to do and to protect each other as well. So I would want to make a donation of 100 US. And I appreciate Leader Pepe, who is here. He is from diaspora as well. I think this is a breaking point for the UK structure to ensure that there's visibility, there's interaction, and there is activity on the ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Leader Blessing. We'll go to Mr. Greeners. Then after that, George. After George, we go to Leader David.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak. I'm very cognizant of the fact that I'm very late to this platform. And I'm sure most of the grievances that I have myself as an individual who supports the people's movement in the diaspora have been addressed. But I feel I should still share my experience with trying to do something as simple as join the structures of the movement here in the UK where I'm based. I moved to this country quite recently, 2018. And the first thing that I wanted was to be a part of the movement, a card-carrying member. Firstly, I could not even locate anybody who could help me with this. I then reached out to Honorable Sikala, who then gave me a contact. I contacted that person, and eventually I got there. But it took me almost 3 months. Eventually I got there. After managing to join these structures, nothing much was going on. There were some discussions that would happen, but they were quite petty in my view. There wasn't any serious business that was being discussed in those groups. It was just like a normal WhatsApp group where people sent jokes about the regime and so on and so on. That's what it was. I did try to engage so that we get into some serious discussions. At that time, I was really, I would say, obsessed with trying to get us to push for the diaspora vote, because I was cognizant of the fact that this is something that can be a game changer. If there was a war that needed to be fought, it was that of the diaspora vote. But there really wasn't anything of substance that came out of this. Nevertheless, it just came to one day where people started discussing about the leadership. And I was just pointing out that I don't trust a person called Douglas Monzora. Somebody came to my inbox and told me that I need to keep quiet and stop talking. I said, but why would I be gagged when we're in a movement which is a democracy? And they said, no, you don't need to be talking about such things on the group. Otherwise, yeah. Anyway, okay. So I won't delve. I won't go into more details. I said I'm cognizant of the fact that I'm possibly late and possibly these issues have been discussed. I would like to donate to the movement. I think I'm going to donate £50 tonight.
Thank you so much, Mr. Greeners, for your generous donation. We'll go to George. George, if you can unmute. Okay, it seems as if George
can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. And I would love to acknowledge the presence of our national leadership on this platform. I spoke earlier on and mentioned that I'm Secretary for KwaZulu-Natal District in South Africa. So I will not delve into provincial matters because I will be preempting my provincial leadership. But allow me to say that I noted with concern some of the comments that were mentioned here that the structures in South Africa are not visible because we have 13 districts in South Africa, and in each and every one of South African provinces, we got a district with full-grown structures and branches that are operating at the moment. And recently, we just concluded a provincial council in Bombela, where we were graced by the presence of the Secretary General, Charlton Wende, and our international organ, Tibaya, who also came to grace us with their presence. So South Africa as a province got fully functional district, and which also encompasses Namibia, Botswana, and Zambia as well. So If people are looking for information, they can always inbox me or even on the Twitter message. Then I can avail some of the information they may require to and direct them to the right branches and districts within South African province. And we have a lot of action happening right now on the ground. And also, thank you so much for this initiative to ensure the availability of membership card, because membership card is a very big pertinent issue in South Africa. Wherever we go, the first question that we are confronted with is membership card. And to the extent that we tried a lot of time to get some membership card coming from Zimbabwe, and we even enrolled on the online platform with much failure and disappointment. But we believe because of this initiative that is now being launched, the card will be made available as soon as possible. And I've already made my donation of 15 US through PayPal. And I would put 15 more in the next coming 2 weeks to support the initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's see which speakers are left. We are left with one Zim. One Zim, can you go ahead?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out exactly. Okay, what I don't think there's been any concrete steps to really get the Diasporan to vote. I mean, I don't. There's never been any court challenges. Nothing has been done of consequence. So I just feel that we're behind we're just we're playing we're behind. We have a constitutional right as Zimbabweans we have a right to vote, but we're not being allowed to vote. You have to go to Zimbabwe to vote. That's how the law is. Why is it that all over the world, in African countries, they can vote, but us we are not allowed to vote?
Thank you so much. We are going to bring that as a topic about diaspora vote in the future. We hope you'll be able to attend. So kindly follow us. And when you see the topic on diaspora vote coming, kindly come and share your concerns. We can now go to David, and we are towards the close of our program. After David, I will return the mic to to my co-host Jessica, and then we will start wrapping up. Mr. David, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Rico. Anyway, I didn't have much to say, but and I didn't want to say something though. But when my brother Madzima spoke, I felt like okay, this is one gentleman that I have missed for a long, long time. And the last gentleman who spoke as well, Wanzim, I was always in contact and in touch with him. I think I'm gonna do that right now. But just to say, we do acknowledge and accept some of the shortcomings and the weaknesses that we are having as structures. We are working on them, especially in terms of working more on visibility. So yeah, those are pertinent and critical concerns that are being raised. Be rest assured that I will try to up our game in that aspect. And then I will close by going and putting in my $50. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I will now go to Jessica.
Thank you so much, host. I'm just here to acknowledge the district, the Botswana district treasurer, Nkoma Edim Kanya. He said he will put his $50 donation, and then the Chitata family has also donated $200, and Mr. Ndaba, also from Botswana, has donated $100. So in total, the three have $350 that is coming through. So yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge the donation. Thank you so much, Nkoma Edi. yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay, thank you so much. I would also like to acknowledge someone who sent us a message anonymously that they've also donated $100 and they added $3 so that it will come as $100 for the charges. And those who are asking, the link is pinned on this space. And unfortunately, we've stretched our Twitter space so long, and it will be ending in about 7 minutes. So what I'll do is all those who have requested, there are 4 of you. Kindly don't request anymore to those who still haven't requested. There are now 3, so we'll take these 3 and I will hand over the time to my brother, Mr. Washington Ali. Then you will help us with the closing remarks.
Host, sorry to interject. Allow me to recognize on your behalf our friends from the other side. I saw we've got Honorable Dexter Nduna here. We've got Prof. Feresu, she's here. And we also had Padare here. These are the ones I could recognize. I want to recognize them and I want to welcome them. We know why you're here. You love this organization so much and we really appreciate your presence. And it would be great if you could leave something for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much from you. Now we are closing. So after you speak, you drop yourself off as a speaker. So we start with Judah. Less than 1 minute, 30 seconds. Go ahead, Judah. We can't hear you.
He's dropped, listener.
Okay, let's go to Sancho. Sancho, can you hear us? Okay, it seems as if Sancho can speak as well. Can we go to Ronnie?
Thank you. My name is Ronnie Muvirimi. I am the current secretary for the North America province. And I would want to first recognize our national leadership. I'm not going to talk about visibility because a lot has been said about it. But I just want to pose a few questions to the people who are on the fence. So the first question I just want to ask you is, do you want the evil ZANU regime gone? Number 2, who do you think has the best capacity to remove the ZANU regime? And number 3, what can you do to help? When you answer these questions, I think you should be looking for us, and a lot of the information about where you can contact the MDC in the diaspora provinces has already been said. For North America, you can look for our Twitter handles. For Australia, UK, and South Africa, a lot of contact information has been given. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Muvirimi, for that contribution. We still have our leadership, so they will just be saying words and then they drop off. So we'll start with Sabuk. Sabuk, can you go ahead and say your last words before you drop off?
Okay, I just want to thank everybody for blessing this space this afternoon, this evening. We really appreciate us. I mean, your presence here, and we hope to see you on our next one. We're going to be having a lot of these, as mentioned earlier on, and we will really appreciate you coming along. And as you have noticed, there's going to be a lot of information that is very handy here. And please, guys, the issue of visibility, we are going to try to make ourselves available as much as possible, but our main target right now is resource mobilization. So feel free to contact us at any given time alongside with Mr. Washington Ali. So guys, this is the space, this is home for you. if you really, really want to support the MDC Alliance. And I know you're all cadres here. Please, let's do it. And I wish you a very good night until the next space. Good night.
Thank you so much, Sabuk, for that. From yourself, we will go to JT. JT, can you say your words in under a minute?
Yes, thanks very much. My last words is just for everyone on the space we really need to follow each other, share. When these spaces come up, let's try to retweet as much as we can. I know we're talking about visibility, but this is one of the things that we can be visible. Let's follow each other. I've followed a few people on the space, but before you leave tonight, make sure you follow someone else and encourage everyone that when we have these spaces, retweet, share. The power of sharing is very, very strong. And let's follow each other. We are one family, and we all need the same thing. So my brothers and sisters, thanks very much for listening to everyone on the space tonight. It's been very, very informative. In the 2023 Simbariwa Nuticharuona. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So from JT, we'll go to DMV.
Thank you very much, Chico. I just wanted to acknowledge what was the message that was spoken by Tawanda, who raised concerns about the MDC not fully being there for the people in South Africa. And as he was talking about what ZANU-PF is doing. I know that this is the second, you probably came at the last leg, so I was hoping that the SG would be able to answer, but I wanted to just assure him that this issue is being looked into. And I know that the Rural and Mobilization Secretary, Mr. Bondo, was also in South Africa on the ground, assessing and talking to the people. So we are not in any way removed from what is happening to our citizens abroad. The MDC is very involved and is aware. So whilst we may not be able to do the exact same things, but we are aware and doing and pushing in making sure that our Zimbabwean citizens, whatever the issues that they are facing abroad, we are aware and making sure that we are able to do within our capacity to assist and help those. And I also just wanted to discuss about one member. We had an issue when they joined one of their branches, I think in the UK. So I just wanted to encourage him that there is obviously a lot of issues that may happen as you are trying to look for a branch, but I want to assure you that all our groups, even within, whether it's a Twitter page, whether it's a WhatsApp group, that we are discussing important issues and we are also going through changes. So we are aware, but we do encourage conversations. There's no conversations that is off the books, that is off the line. I can safely say that me as a DMV branch chair, I encourage conversations. I encourage serious conversations, and within the guidelines of not it being a toxic environment, but whatever pertains to the party, whatever pertains to Zimbabwe, whatever pertains to national issues, and we have a topic that needs to be discussed, our WhatsApp pages and our WhatsApp groups are safe pages, and they're safe pages to discuss any topic. So I just want to encourage you to continue joining. I thank you for doing your contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Leader Tafi. From you, let's go to MDC Carolinas. MDCA Carolinas, can you go ahead?
Hi, leadership. Thank you very much. I was gonna say I will do another 35 if my leader David can do 15. Thank you.
Leader David, where are you? Leader David has disappeared. I'll give the mic to Unati. They have a request. Unati, can you go ahead and speak? Can you unmute and speak?
Oh, sorry, leadership. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Sorry very much because it keeps kicking me out. So now I don't know where you are. I might end up saying the wrong stuff. Can I just maybe continue listening only?
Okay. Thank you so much. You had been requesting for a long time. Unfortunately, we are about to close. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you.
I think we can't hear him. So maybe if I
hello, I'm saying the MDC Carolinas, can you do your 15? We can finish this on a call. I think Sabuk has been sent with a message from Leader David, or he wants to replace Leader David. Can you go ahead, Sabuk?
Yes, I was saying to Dr. Ranga, I'm putting the 15 for Leader David, so go ahead with your 35. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much, Sabuku. You know, there are some people who want to know who you are. I'll go ahead and do my 35. Thank you so much. You have saved the day.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, leadership. Then from there, we are going to Chief Shoshe.
Oh, nothing much, Rico, aside to thank everyone who has donated, who was here, and who are doing something to try and change the situation in Zimbabwe. Let's continue to talk. Let's continue to help the people on the ground. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chief. From there, I can also thank you. On behalf of the entire team, we want to thank the leadership and we want to thank everyone. And for the final words, I'll give the word to my co-host Jessica, who will then hand over to co-host Washington, who will then close the program. Jessica, go ahead.
Thank you so much. I actually don't have much to say except to just say thank you to everybody who joined us. We do hope that in our next sessions again, we keep seeing all of you in your large numbers. There is somebody I wanted to acknowledge, but that person has already left. But that's fine. That person is always joining things that are to do with anything that is progressive, to be honest. That's Flint Bedrock. He is actually a London-based musician who is Zimbabwean. And you can see him around lingering in most of these spaces and just giving unequivocal support, which is really good. So yeah, but thank you to everybody who came through. It was such a successful space. Getting to hear you talk about the challenges that you're facing in the diaspora and also trying to get answers. So we might not have all the answers for you today, but what we can promise is to do the very best we can. As the Diaspora Network for Change, we are doing the absolute best. That I can guarantee you. The team is amazing. We're coming here and we're giving it all each and every day. I'm sure you can see the fight that we are all putting out. It's something that we are not going to be tired to do until Zimbabwe is free, until Zimbabwe is in the rightful hands, which is leadership that is actually concerned about the people. So yeah, thank you to everybody and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good night and have a good morning. Over to you, Washington.
Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, host. I also want to thank all our speakers today. We'll start with all the provincial leadership that is spoken, and I'll go to the national leadership. I will go to some of our friends, and I also want to thank the professor, our vice president and secretary general. I really appreciate your coming to our event, and I would like to end with just a few words. They say if you don't do nothing about the situation, you are an accomplice. If you don't do nothing about what ZANU-PF is doing to us and our parents and our families in Zimbabwe, you are part and parcel of supporting them. So the challenge we have is that we need to resource the MDC. This is why you've got this department. We are here to try and make sure we listen to everything that you are saying. And we are also here to make sure that we implement whatever we would have done. Once the money for the machine is up, we'll tell you there is the money that we have raised is so much. I think today we have raised, just give me 20 seconds. I'll just double check the figures. The figures that I was just equating and what people were saying are not balancing. The system is saying that we have raised 743. That's before the last monies that people have talked about just a few minutes ago. So it's 743, and I would really want to appreciate that. And I know we do not have money all the time, but when we do, we've got our link on our Twitter handle there. You can always go on that Twitter handle and make your donation. Secondly, somebody was asking me, why are you doing what the other person or the other teams are doing? My answer to them was, when you see someone saying they're doing a fundraising for a party, for MDC, if you've got something in your pocket, do not question who is doing what. If you've got money in your pocket, go and support, because each fundraising that we are doing, it has its targets. So with that, I urge every Zimbabwean that when you see where there are requests to support anything to do with fundraising, whether it's repatriating a body or you name it, there is a lot as well, a lot of challenges in the diaspora. So let's help each other and let's help our country. So with those words, I want to say to everyone, good night. I want to say to my team, thank you so much, team. And let's keep working. Let's continue to reach out to those that are not aware. We do not want them to say, oh, you were doing something and we didn't know. So next time we are going to come back much stronger than we were today. I think the highest number we had about 980 people on the space tonight. And it means the word has gone out, and I'd really appreciate. Thank you so much, and good evening. I think, Zico, we can do with our songs before we actually all go.
Yes, so actually the challenge that many people were having, it was with using the link. I've seen many DMs about people failing, some failing to find it, some failing to use it. So, and also the amount, according to the last check, is 826.63. With more people that have contacted us, we are going to give you the link so that you can contribute. Sorry for the technical hiccup, and thank you, everyone. And let's enjoy the song.
Chamiza chapina makatemba masana Chamisa chapinda makatemba masana. Satizwa makajaira zvicharamba zvichiti. Satizwe kubirira sarudzo zvicharamba zvakadaro. Dzungurese irira munoita imi mucharirika. Dzungurese irira munoita imi mucharirika. Nera chapina makatemba masana. Nera chapina makatemba masana. Satizwa makajaira zvicharamba zvichiitika. Satizwe kubira sarudzo zvicharamba zvakadaro. Dzungurese irira munoita imi mucharirika. Dzungurese irira munoita imi mucharirika. Makajaira kushandisa mapurisa nemasoja. Kisidzira vana veZimbabwe kuti akupoterei. Makajaira kushandisa zeki kubirira saru. Manje this time tichazvivarisa. Musanyepere vanimi hapana chata nezvezani. Musanyepere vanimi hapana chata nezvenyu. 41 years muchitonga makaitei masanu. 41 years muchitonga makaitei masanu. Saka chapinda makatemba. Shua makatemba chapinda makatemba. Achapinda makatemba chapinda makatemba. Shua makatemba. Makatemba achapinda makatemba. Chisingaperi chinoshura vakuru vakareva. Kuchema kwevana veZimbabwe kwave kusukuma. Nguva yareba.